Hello everybody and welcome to 3B Radio. We're doing another actual play live stream. Today we're doing another Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition actual play set specifically in the dungeons of Drakkanheim, created by the Dungeon Dudes. Today I'm going to be a player. My little brother up there in the top left is going to be the DM, and before we get into channel announcements and that sort of thing, I'm going to let him introduce the game and then the characters.
Welcome everybody to what we're going to be going through is the Dungeons of Drakkanheim. I'm sure some of you have probably heard of that stream by the Dungeon Dudes, and they had recently released a Kickstarter that kind of develops their entire campaign setting. Really, at the heart of this is going to be a horror-type campaign where the players are going to be struggling to survive and make their fortunes inside of the once heart of the Empire, the city of Drakkanheim, by making their way in and eventually uncovering the riches that are within it. This is a completely player-driven style campaign. It's actually a part of a larger West Marches campaign. So what happens in this campaign is going to be completely up to our players here at 3B Radio. So hopefully they don't get themselves killed too quickly, because right now we're going to get to know them a little bit. So we'll go ahead and we'll start off with my brother.
Hey guys, I'm Rose. Someone's watching it a little bit loud. So you guys know me. I am the DM for Nine Device and Snow. I am a player in Nightfall, and I will be the DM in Kill Team Bravo. Today I'm going to be playing Azul Mountain Strider, the oldest brother of the four brothers. And he is an artificer who focuses on crafting useful robots to assist him. He explores the ruins with his faithful dragonling pet, Archie. And he is, we're out and about trying to find our missing pops, our missing dad.
So we'll go ahead and we'll take it on down to Uhtred.
Hey, I'm Tom. I'm playing Uhtred Mountain Strider. He is one of the four dwarven brothers, but he's really not. He's a drow who had amnesia as a child and was adopted into the family, but he really does think that he's a dwarf. So if anyone says he's not a dwarf, he'll probably fight them. He's doing the best he can, potions, tinctures, and begging mages to get a beard. But thus far, he's failed miserably, and like his older brother and younger brother and whatever middle brother, he is looking your old dad.
All right, let's take it on over to Rickazan.
All right, I'm Joe. I'll be playing Rickazan Mountain Strider, the youngest of the four brothers. He is a paladin of Handseath, if I'm pronouncing that right, which is more about carousing and drinking than it is about the whole being lawful stupid. So he's not going to be one of those paladins, guys. He's going to be helping the rogue and getting toasted. And he's pretty much here because he received a letter that his father was missing. So he came back to join his brothers in finding them.
And last but certainly not least...
Hi guys, my name is Wyatt. I'm new to the stream, but I'm super excited to be here. I am playing Wild today, who is actually not one of the four brothers, but was created by one of the middle child of the four brothers. He's a artificer, warforged, and his issue is that his core is made out of the substance that comes from the city, and it has corrupted him. So his empathy and humanity replication does not work very well. But he has a disallowed function and allowed functions, which means he won't be killing innocents, but he will be thinking very unpopular things about humans, which he refers to as meat bags.
Saw that coming.
Oh, no.
It's always a glorious,
channeling
a glorious angle for the Warforged. I'm a big fan of them, so I'm glad
channeling
we got
your HK-47.
Exactly.
I want you to know that we are absolutely going to look at you and be like, I cannot believe that he didn't even come himself and he sent a metal man.
To be fair, we probably prefer the metal man.
As evidenced by the fact that he didn't come himself, he's not the favorite brother.
Yeah. You can tell who's getting left out of the will for sure.
Wyatt Chew is in chat and he says hi.
Hello, Chewie.
5th edition.
All right, so uh, let's start diving into the world of Drakkenheim here. We currently find our heroes in the city of, or the town really, of Emberwood Village. Emberwood Village is a few miles south of Drakkenheim, and it's a humble little crossroads town along the Champion's Way. It's been surrounded by farmsteads. You know, it was a little farming village before the actual fall, but now all of the land around it has become completely forsaken. Many of the residents have abandoned, and pretty much the entire village is completely deteriorated. Many of the buildings have fallen into disrepair, and the only people that have stuck around are the real holdouts. Those folks that were born and raised in this village, and you know, sky falling comets be damned, they're not going to be leaving anytime soon. However, in spite of all this darkness around, there is in the center of town, the center of the village, there is some activity. You can hear conversations, a little bit of laughter, but what is most impressing is the bustling market square and several crowds of adventurers, merchants, prospectors, and busy traffic. Uh, it seems that all manner of weapons, equipment, coins, all sorts of recovered treasures, and you can all see the occasional strange glowing crystal, uh, invariably kept inside of small glass containers. These crystals, Wild, you are very intimately familiar with. These are pieces of delirium. This is the remnants that have begun to spread throughout the city of Drakkenheim. Throughout the city of Drakkenheim, as after the sky fell upon the city. In about 15 years ago, this when the comet landed, completely obliterating a greater portion of the city and causing the purple haze to flow out into the surrounding area. This haze is well known throughout the city, and I'll actually show you. The haze itself generates from the core city and expands to the nearby woods. It is incredibly dangerous, and as far as anybody knows, for the most part, it is not possible to live within the haze. Eventually, any prolonged exposure to the haze will cause contamination, which is a slow mutation of anybody who is exposed to delirium. This is also this delirium is also what brings all of these adventures to the city. The delirium is an incredibly valuable resource for the crafting of magical artifacts, and it brings explorers from all over the world, all walks of life, to try and eke out some sort of a fortune here. You guys have now been in the city for a couple of days and managed to acquire a small cabin that you guys have been paying for the last few days. The cabin was arranged for you by the Bark and Buzzard. I'll go ahead and share that with you guys. The Bark and Buzzard, right, is nestled amongst the residential cottages of Emberwood Village. It's a small one-level public house and is one of the more popular spots for the local adventurers. It's a little bit more peaceful than some of the other locations and still has an affordable price. The public house has a variety of different characters in it, but no real bar or any walls kind of separating the kitchen from the dining room. It's just one large space with a few benches inside. The Allsberg family, they've owned and maintained it for a generation, and currently it is Karen Allsberg and her husband, Holgar, who have been taking care of the estate. They brew an ember ale, and it's served with a nice little bit of lamb stew and baked bread when that's available. Because there is very, very little food that is actually harvested or grown here inside of Emberwood Village. It is all shipped in. It takes about 3 weeks before you can get to any kind of really healthy farmland. So food and resources are incredibly scarce here. This is where you guys have been set up. We're going to do a quick little tour here of the rest of Emberwood Village to kind of catch you guys up in what you've learned in the last couple of days. Any questions so far in regards to the Bark and Buzzard before we move on to one of our next taverns here in town?
We've been staying in our own cabin, so we've been doing groceries and eating in, or are we eating at one of the...
So when you guys came in, you knew the situation. You were able to bring a decent amount of supplies, and that's what you've been living off up to this point. So you have the rations that you currently have, right, and the gold. That's what remains of your stake in trying to come back towards town.
You said it was a Karen and Holgar?
So Holgar...
Hey, Chew, is that better? Chewy, does that sound better? Still robot. Alright.
We're having technical difficulties on the stream at the moment.
It's okay. That's part of the world that we live in. You guys will have much larger issues and technical difficulties once you get into the city, I assure you.
I mean, not me, but I'm sure the others will.
It turns out that
How about now,
Drakkanheim-
Chewy? The stream is a couple of seconds behind, so I have to wait for him to hear me.
It's okay.
It turns out that
That's
Drakkanheim
okay.
has real shit Wi-Fi infrastructure, so when we try to connect to Zoom, it always takes 3 to 4 seconds, and then we
What's
constantly
this
blink in and
about?
out.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Just so you know, Wild, the corrupting influence of the haze is known to not only corrupt flesh, but stone, wood, and metal.
Yeah, I having the delirium core, I've noticed that.
So it is an all corrupting influence.
I'm definitely not immune. I was just saying that the mechanical problems are always my problems. I'm always going to have technical difficulties.
So,
How
wow,
are
you're
we
essentially
looking,
Pinocchio.
brother?
Say again?
How are we looking, Azul?
Oh, we're good now.
Okay,
Volume's good. I'm
fantastic.
coming a little robotic, but that might just be that I need a better PC.
Maybe. That may be. So your question in regard to Holgar, Holgar Alsberg, he is the one of the two proprietors of the Bark and Buzzard. Between him and his wife, they maintain that establishment. They're the ones who are also able to arrange for you to stay in one of the cabins that's still hospitable. And you guys, just so you know, you guys are currently paying 2 gold pieces of night, each of you, for the rental of the cabin.
Okay. Well, we should, assuming we get paid on our next venture, we should have plenty of gold to continue to pay that.
You guys are actually paid up until the night, so you guys are good at the moment.
Oh, perfect. Awesome.
All right, so that is the Bark and Buzzard. Some of the other, the more higher scale tavern in town is known as the Gilded Lily. This is a lavish 2-story building. Is surrounded by decorated, swirling with lily motifs, painted purple. The place looks a little out of place compared to the rest of the establishments. It's got high arches and curtained windows. Inside of this establishment, it's lit by several golden lamps, and it even has a small stage set before with candlelit tables, floral arrangements along all of the walls and even on the tables themselves. It is an incredibly well-stocked bar with wines and spirits from all over the world. The Gilded Lily is owned by Mr. Killian Van Deer. and he's assisted by the hostess, Madame Rochelle. Together, they run the business. And what is unique about the Gilded Lily is that they host nightly performances. The tavern is a popular place to share company and gossip, even a few drinks. And on occasion, they'll have an open mic night where anybody can uh, give performances, whether it be magical displays, strength shows, whatever kind of performance or show you want to do. Think of it like a an amateur night, right? And anybody is able to go up and perform. It's the Gilded Lilies business model. They don't pay for entertainment, right? They have the space where you can go up and try to entertain the acts.
Anybody, you say?
We need to find a tomato farm and supply the good lilies with tomatoes if they're horrible acts. We'll get rich in no time.
Oh, absolutely.
Is there anybody who, in these last couple of days, would have liked to have gone up to perhaps take the stage on an open mic night?
Yeah, Azul absolutely got up there and using history recited an epic poem of the Mountain Strider clan because he was bored.
So give me a history roll, and we'll see how well received your performance was.
All right, let's do this.
All right, so this would
I don't know if it was
happen,
entertaining, but it was informative.
This is a little bit of a flashback kind of a sequence to where you guys were here the night before, right? And you had come in and you kind of saw everything that was going on and thought you'd give a chance to let the people know who had arrived in town. And so what do you tell or what do you talk about in your epic tale? What are some of the highlights that you tell them about the Mountain Strider clan?
I tell about how the Mountain Strider clan was originally founded by an old ranger who was given his charge of having his own clan because while scouting the mountains he found a dwarven princess who had been kidnapped. And I tell the tale of the rescue of the dwarven princess.
You can see that in the Gilded Lily there are very few people who are not with a handkerchief to their eye as they hear of this touching, powerful tale. Go ahead and roll me 10d6.
I can do that. I know there's d6s somewhere.
So you actually ended up with 31 gold pieces in tips. This comes through some you got yesterday, and people were absolutely enthralled by your story. You can see that the people who stay here at the Gilded Lily have incredibly deep pockets.
Also, good taste. Clearly, good taste.
Indeed. Having seen the amount of money that Azul made, and the fact that he hyped up the Mountain Strider clan, Rika would definitely have gone the next day, introduced himself as Rika Zen Mountain Strider, piggybacking off of Azul's fame, and told a war story while getting completely blitzed off of ale, and using his charisma to make all the epic sound effects, like bombs going off here and artificers throwing nukes this way and all that, really hamming it up.
Go ahead and give me a performance roll.
I want
to as you guys have kind of still coming around. You can tell as you're going to more sound effects as opposed to the actual narrative itself, and you get a couple of applauses, right? Not nearly as impactful as your brother, which kind of irks you a bit, given that you're the charming one of them. But go ahead and roll me 2d6.
I'll point out that during this, since Uhtred is a drow who thinks he's a dwarf and doesn't know the family history to save his own ass, he was writing notes during the tale of the Mountain Strider clan, and since he's a complete fucking idiot, He was also taking down notes about the artificer, my brother, in the battle, as if that were 100% history as well.
I love it. I love it. It's like, oh yeah. Gotta remember that one. That is so. Oh, also, so that's the Gilded Lily. You can tell here. Can you guys give me a perception check?
Paulus?
I guess I made 7 gold off
Yes,
of my
7 gold. Sorry.
little thing. Okay.
We each make a perception
No
check.
I'm not very.
And for our audience that knows this system, I last played D&D for 2.5 editions, so I don't know where the fuck to find my perception.
3.5.
You'll get there. You'll get there.
Where is it on the sheet? Investigation, perception. Never mind.
It's under your core.
Perceptive as fuck!
There you go.
Yeah, we played 3.5,
Oh.
bro. Not
Got it.
2.5, I think.
So you can, as you guys are kind of making your way around, in the last couple of days when you'd visited the Gilded Lily, you notice there's some people that have been noticing you guys, especially after Azul's performance.
All right. So after Azul's performance, like after we're kind of sitting around and just talking and having a good time, Wild is going to stand up and just kind of look around the room, like very, very, very sentry-like, and then point at one of the people, just one of them who are noticing us, and go, "Response. Understanding. This man here is looking for us specifically for some reason. I think it has something to do along the lines with Azul's mediocre at best performance," and then sits back down.
Well, Azul did really well, right? He's older. Is he that 2-year Azul?
Yeah, I did very well.
You see the one guy. He was looking and he was kind of looking towards you with a tear in his eyes. He was thinking of Azul's story of the princess, and then he kind of looks at you, this hulking metal behemoth, and he kind of and starts to kind of look away a little bit, intimidated by the approach of the large warforged.
I think I rolled decently well on my perception check. Do I know, like, in what way he was looking at us? Does he want to bang one of us? Was he curious?
They were more interested in who is the new group in town. It seems like there's a lot of adventurers that come through this town, and people are always keeping tabs on who are the new guys, right? Maybe they're just trying to figure out how long it is until you guys die.
Wow.
Well,
They're starting a dead.
So over my mug, I look at the guy and I kind of wave to him. I'm like, oh, ignore that gobshite. You don't know what he's talking about. And I look at Wild and I'm like, sit your ass down before I hit you, you fucking amber.
Response. Begrudging acceptance. Of course, Controller Rizan. And sits down.
So, one thing I've forgotten to mention in regards to the Bark and Buzzard. The Bark and Buzzard, what makes the place particularly interesting is that within the Bark and Buzzard, there is a small section near the middle of the bar where all of the tables are pushed off to the sides. And you can see written in chalk on the ground of the Bark and Buzzard a large square. Behind the bar, you can see a strange, almost scarecrow-like looking creature. It looks not too dissimilar to a primitive version of Wild.
Hey, you got a girlfriend over there, I think. It's unfortunate because he walked away just when I said that, so he's not going to respond. But let it be known.
Oh, the gobshite shut down. Fucking whack him.
He said that he has a girlfriend.
Wake
over
up.
there.
When you say that, right, you see the scarecrow kind of its head
No, I
perk up.
only said that to my brother. I don't go yelling that shit like an ass.
Okay.
I just fucking tap the bucket of bolts to my right and go, hey, look, you got a girlfriend.
So you guys can see the weird scarecrow-looking thing, and it does seem to be moving around. And it seems to be having a conversation with Holgar. And I'll leave that there for you guys as we continue our tour, unless anybody would like to do anything at the Bark and Buzzard.
Nope, I'm fine with continuing
I mean, actually, I'll ask if anyone's seen our father. Right? Like, you should probably start getting on that, right? Like, I don't know where our status is, but at some point, our dad's missing. We're probably going to want to know if anyone's seen him or happens to be aware of him or where his last mission was or his last task.
So at the moment, you can see Holgar at the bar, and he seems to be tending. He's got the strange scarecrow near him, and he seems to be talking to a few folks and pouring drinks. If you'd like to approach him.
You go, oh, Azul, you know, I don't speak so good, so you should probably go ask that bartender if he's seen Dad.
So Azul walks over to Holgar.
So, hi, what can I get you?
Well, we're wandering about town at the moment, getting ready to go into the ruins. But before we head in that direction, I was wondering if you'd heard anything about a missing lantern. My da.
Looking to head to
He's
the
a
ruins
dwarf,
already.
not a lantern.
I imagine you're eager to get yourself killed.
Yeah, he's a dwarf. He looks like me. He's a dwarf.
Oh, no. So,
You clearly see his eyebrows kind of furrow when you mention it, and then he looks to Azul and says,
It's
the tall one with you.
yes. It's best not to ask Uhtred too many questions. But
That's what I'll get confused. And I sit down and I go back to what I'm doing.
he says,
I slide you another ale.
less
Drink up,
eager
man.
to
Drink
get
up.
ourselves killed, but our father is our father.
Father was a lantern.
Kachando's Mountain Strider. No, Orin Mountain Strider, sorry.
Well, I'd imagine then you probably want to stop by the old watchtower when you have a chance. The hooded lanterns keep a small station there, help look out for the town as much as they can. If you're really interested in, if you speak with them, look for Ansem or Petra Lang. They're a pair of twins. So if you find one, you'll know what the other looks like too.
Excellent. Do people hire others to go into the ruins?
Well, there's quite a few folks in town. You've got the lanterns on occasion. But if you're looking for work, the Amethyst Academy sometimes have some work, and it kind of quiets down a little bit. You could always look into talking to the Queen's men. But there's always something to do.
Questioning very loudly, he goes, "What are the Queen's men?"
You see one or two people make eyes towards you as you clearly state that. She's like, "Hey, they're."
Azul looks at Wild and he's like, "The Queen's men are a topic best addressed in the comfort of our own home."
That's wise words. They can be a bit of trouble if you're not careful.
Holgar, thank you so much for your information. And I hand him...
So he says, I see you got yourself an animated suit of armor too. And you see pats the back of the scarecrow next to him and says, "This is old Rattlecan." He says, an opponent?
We was looking to breed you, to be honest. You got a problem with us breeding, yeah?
So Azul looks at him and he says, that one and that one, not the same type of animation.
Wild's gonna lean forward and get eye to eye with
the
the animated armor, and he's gonna go, "Response, agitation. The fact that you would compare me to such a crude device is honestly terrifying." And then he leans back.
You can actually see the... Give me insight rolls.
Oh, lordy. Yep, that's about what I expected.
So, Wild, you're actually the only one that notices, because you've dealt with all sorts of, and Rikazan as well. The two of you notice the kind of some of the straw at the top of the animated armor kind of furrows a little bit, and it's different from other constructs you've seen. You can tell there's a degree of intelligence to this, not quite to the extent that Wild has, but there is something going on in there.
Oh, the jury's still out on Wild.
You see, Holgar says, old Rattlecan, he kind of keeps things lively around here. Do you think you want to put your automaton up against ours?
So, because Wild is a sentient automaton, Azul looks at him and goes, "You want to fight?"
Respond.
Oh, he's a dwarf. He always wants to fight. Get in the ring.
I mean,
boys.
really, most
Acceptance.
anybody in town has had a go against Rattlecan. He's a lot tougher than he looks, though.
Response. Acceptance. As you command, Controller Rikazan.
I tap Azul on the shoulder. I go, I thought we was just joking about mating them.
The matings for after the fighting.
Fucking, if there's one thing that Uhtred agrees with, it's that concept. He just nods sagely.
I walk over to Azul. I'm like, oh, if he gets scrapped up a bit, you might knock him down a few pegs, aye?
Maybe.
So I'm just going to go ahead here. A couple of things around.
So Rick, waddles over the whole guy. He's like, so what's it to? First oil? They don't be bleeding, aye?
First
oil. Jeez.
All right. Sorry about that delay there. Got it. So, you see they kind of, some folks start setting up around, and they set up around the chalk space. You can see they've got Wild in the middle, and you can see some folks that have already started to get very excited, and you can see bets are being placed. Folks are starting to buy extra rounds of drinks. You can see why Holgar kind of encourages folks to fight against old Rattlecan, because it gets everybody kind of going, and everybody gets really excited as far as what's happening in. So, what we're going to do here is... why are my APIs not working? They're being silly today. Restart. There we go. And...
I look at the rest of our group and I'm like, oh, what's the odds that we go exploring today, folks? Like, because if we're not leaving the city proper, like, I can magic us up a little advantage. You know what I'm saying?
Azul looks at Rick and
Well,
he's
I
like, I believe that in these kinds of contests, magical advantages are frowned upon.
Oh, there ain't no rules. You ain't any rules.
You see, Holgar says, well, that's the good part about this. We can come up with whatever rules we want. Not to knock your friend, but old Rattlecan ain't a pushover. He might want some help.
Wild is going to turn towards the bartender and go, response, question. Are you to say I am allowed to use whatever is at my disposal to destroy your tin can?
Yeah.
I thought his name was Rattlecan.
You can certainly try.
Semantics. Don't argue it. So, I haven't played a paladin in a while, and I haven't played with a warforged as a party before. Do my spells work on him?
Yeah.
Like, is he a construct?
He's technically a humanoid. So yeah, you can cast any of those spells on him.
So I can use Bless and Shield of Faith on him.
Well, you could do one or the other.
I can't do
No,
both.
because they're both concentration spells.
Oh, okay. What would you prefer then? Metal boy.
Let's. Wild's going to turn and go. Response. Bless.
Okay.
Indeed.
And then I am going to go ahead and cast, before the fight starts, cast Sanctuary on myself.
Interesting. Okay. So
Azul absolutely just like leans back and he's like, all right, let's see how this goes.
if you could go ahead and ping this. There you go. You pinged it. It shows like you guys had all of your slots spent. If you could make sure you guys have refilled your slots so they have the correct number on them.
I'll cast it again so that it'll show.
Okay, so
there you go.
So you got Sanctuary right now, and you have Bless on yourself.
It's gonna be a hell of a fight.
There we go.
Why is this not working? 1 second.
Is it fists only, or am I allowed to use spells to attack your tin can as well?
You're allowed. Holgar says, "Well, let's see what you can do. Give it everything you got." So Wild, what is your dexterity?
My dexterity is a 16.
So you're gonna be going first. So at the moment, you've got right now Sanctuary already up.
Yep.
And you have Bless up on yourself. So what would you like to do?
I'm going to go ahead and take 2 steps back, provoking attack of opportunity.
Which Rattle can most definitely will. As you're coming close to the edge, you see Holgar says, "Hey, stay in the box! Don't want my furniture broken." And he's going to take a swing. He's got to do his, I believe it is a Wisdom save.
Yes.
What is your DC?
My DC is 13.
So he actually passes.
That son of a bitch.
With a 14, though, to hit?
Does not hit.
Okay. So he has used his reaction. All right, you're up.
My helmet visor slams down over my face, and I pull a crossbow off of my back, and it wears up as the winding mechanism inside my repeating crossbow, and I'm going to take a shot at him.
Go for it.
20 to hit.
That's going to be a hit.
It's a wee
For a
bit
total of
close
11
for
damage.
crossbow fighting.
11 damage. That is a big hit. Rattlecan says, "Ha! Using ranged weapons? What kind of coward are you?" If you see...
Have you met his creator?
Fucking hell.
You see he is going to move up towards you. The attack, though, does remove Sanctuary.
Yes, because he broke the thing, so he can just attack me normally now.
He will go ahead and take his swing. First one is going to miss. Second one is going to hit. So you're going to take 4 points of damage. You see he starts coming in, swinging at you. "Ah, you cur! Have at thee!" And swing at you, haymakers. The first one you're able to kind of block with your forearm, and the second one catches you right in the jaw. And that's going to bring you up.
Response, processing. This suit of armor seems to be trying to taunt me. I don't know if it thinks I think that it is worthy of taunting back. I'm going to cast Sanctuary on myself again, using my last spell slot.
All right. Sanctuary is action.
Bonus action.
Bonus action, okay.
Azul kind of looks at Archie. He's like, if they use everything they got now, we won't have anything to go into the ruins.
Oh, that's why I asked. We gonna sleep tonight, eh?
I move 25
He
feet.
will try to make his attack of opportunity. She fails the Sanctuary roll.
And then, again, with the crossbow, just go ahead and take a pot shot at him. 11 to hit.
11 is not going to hit.
Okay.
And he is going to go ahead. So on the,
With my
I'm going to
boss, it
create
doesn't
you
hit,
guys
right?
a macro for you to be able to end your turn. For right now, on the chat box where it says it will show unit because that's how you have your first name.
And then done,
Unit's
yeah.
turn. There you go. Thank you.
Hey,
Can you use my bless to?
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
add a D4 to that. I apologize.
yeah, I was gonna
Go
say
ahead
you're
and
not
roll
using
it.
your.
Let's see if it.
1.
No, 12's not going to do it. So he's going to keep coming at you, and he's almost like a boxer trying to cut off the ring as he comes in with a couple of slams. What is your?
Wisdom saving throw.
You did another attack with the crossbow.
Oh, right. I forgot it breaks when I
Yeah,
attack.
it breaks when you attack.
He'll hit both times.
Okay, so he's going to come in. The first one's going to do 5. And the second one's going to do 3.
For a total of 8.
Yeah. You guys can see he's kind of got Wild in a corner, but you could tell where Wild's specialty is. It's definitely in the ranged fighting versus this up close and personal type of stuff. You can hear people cheering and screaming. It is going to be your turn, Wild.
A step past. Response. Maintenance required. 2, 3. Stepping out of his range for an attack.
He will try to make his attack. Ooh, he's on
Yeah.
fire.
He's on a roll, and that is going to put Wild, just kind of trips and falls and hits the center of the ring.
So you go down just to 1 HP, right?
Okay.
As you go down, you kind of black out for a little bit, but not. You don't go to 0. Essentially, you're kind of pulled off to the side.
Can he come to?
It's a
Can
shame
he
you
come
went
to
that way.
Azul, having his chassis open, like ratcheting bolts and shit back into place?
Totally, I love it.
It's a shame you went away from Rika. If you had passed by me, I was like, get him! And I was going to hit you with lay on hands as he went by. But just like kind of smacking you in the back, like, get him, boy!
So you can see Holgar comes up and he actually pats old Rattlecan on the back. He says, nicely done, Rattlecan, nicely done. He looks over to Azul. He says, your automaton's pretty good. Looks like he's got a different fighting style, but he should hold up in the city with you.
Not the tactics that I would have told him to use, but it'll work.
Wild, as he comes to, goes, response, shame. I was beaten by that scarecrow. I don't know quite how to feel about this.
Oh, you're
Holgar
gonna feel
says,
like
don't
shit,
worry.
You're gonna feel like.
You're not the first adventurer to think they can take old Rattlecan. You can see, now you get a closer look, you can see old Rattlecan is covered in dents and beats and bruises, not bruises, but little messed up chunks. It looks like he is a regular bit of entertainment here in town.
Wild's going to stand up and look at old Rattlecan and go, response, respect. You fight well. Too bad you were controlled by meatbags.
Controlled? Ha! Yes, I am.
Wow. You know that. I
So,
clicked accidentally.
is there anything else that you guys would like to do at the Bark and Buzzard? As you're kind of going through... Essentially, what we're doing now takes place over a couple of days as you guys are getting familiar with town. Anything else you'd like to do during that initial visit to the Bark and Buzzard?
No. I think it's about time for us to start heading into the actual ruins.
I agree.
I should probably rest before.
Well, you guys,
my,
that's what I'm
slots.
saying. You guys will be able to, with what you're doing right now, we're kind of playing out what you arrived in town the last couple of days. So you guys will be able to have a full rest before actually going into the city.
While we're kind of gathered up, he's going to go, advisement. I suggest we check out this old watchtower. Your hooded lantern friends might have query on your father's location.
Before we go to the city, we definitely have to go to the tower. I agree.
So a couple of other locations here in town, right? Was there anything else you guys want to do there, particularly in the Bark and Buzzard?
No.
If not, we'll continue with our little tour of town.
No, we're good. Or I'm good, rather.
Yeah, I'm good.
The next establishment of note is referred to as the Skull and Sword Tap House. The Skull and Sword is generally a dingy, dirty, old farmstead that was actually turned into a saloon. You can tell outside it's got a jawless skull impaled on a rusty sword. Not a sign of one, but an actual skull, a rusty sword and skull on the outside. They're the type of place that have a macabre kind of a greeting. It's a dark place where fistfights happen on a regular. People are getting thrown out all the time. The Skull and Sword is a popular place for anybody that's on the scoundrel and misfit side of life, right? It's all about just as cheap beer and liquor as you can get served, but it is a pretty good place to pick up the tidbits of rumors here and there, as everybody's got loose lips. But generally, folks try to keep a low profile while making their way around here, or at least be ready to draw weapons should things go bad. The place itself is run by Frida Longhorn, which is a half-orc of decent renown, and she keeps people in check. She's real quick to grab her sword from over the top of the bar and lay some folks out if she need be. She tries to not kill anybody, but mistakes do happen. She prefers to just toss somebody out a window versus having to take their head. Her business partner is a halfling named Cuff Goldberg, and he's usually sitting at one of the back tables. And you can see that Cuff is sitting next to a rather interesting looking individual. And I will show you who they are sitting next to. You can see next to this halfling is a woman dressed in tight leather boots, pants, a vest, flaming hair, and dark ashen skin. They're sitting at the back of the table, and you can tell they have a degree of respect around them. And you can see, give me perception checks.
My character sheet.
Yeah, buddy, finally got a good roll for something aside from that history check.
Hey, that history check made you
Close my
30
sheet
gold.
again.
So.
I am not complaining at all.
I clicked perception, it didn't work, and I clicked a bunch of times, so feel free to take the first number or whatever number you see fit.
All right.
Lord.
I was like,
So,
why is it not working?
Azul,
Click.
I rolled a 0. My eyes actually
Oh, fuck, you
exploded
roll
in
a
my
zero!
-1.
Does it have a minus one?
so Azul
I'm
and
not very
Wild,
wise. I'm very drunk.
you two notice that several of the people around the table where this individual with the burning hair is sitting, you can tell that they are working security. Right? They're keeping their eyes open. They're making sure that nobody's getting too close to them. And as you guys are getting familiar around town, you learn this individual to be known as Blackjack Mel.
Okay.
Blackjack, they tend to deal with mercenaries and adventurers here and there, people that are looking for work. It's
Wild.
decent. What was that?
No, go ahead.
It's decently well known that the Queen of Thieves, right, the Queen's Men, bankrolls the bar, and she keeps cheap booze flowing. While the common folk in Emberwood Village think the Skull and Hub is an unlawful place, most of the activities here are pretty above board, aside from the occasional odd meeting. So this is the place where you can get the cheapest liquor. It's cheap mead, 5 copper pieces a piece. You can get some liquor for a silver piece. This is where you're going to get the cheap stuff.
Wild's gonna lead into Rikazen and go, response, pleading, don't make me fight the security this time.
All right, don't act like a gobshite, and I won't.
So
I
you can
don't
see
think we
everything
made
that's
you
going
do
on. Is there
anything,
anything?
actually. You toted the fucking thing and wanted to find it on your own.
All right, someone's got a point.
So if anybody, you can all, and remember, at any time you can always return to any of these facilities anytime you'd like. Let's share with you guys.
All right. What's next
In our tour of the town,
in our tour de force?
I grab an ale before we leave just to test it, see how it is.
by your standards, it's pretty shit, like real shit.
Okay.
Uh, being the paladin of the dwarven god of carousing, this is almost like an
And a
insult
brewer,
to your
though.
religion, really.
I feel like spinning it back into the cup, but I'm like, no, don't want to insult them.
So
I just walk out with it. And as soon as I reach the threshold and the door shuts, I just pour it on the ground.
So, the last known tavern or inn here in town is known as the Red Lion Hotel. This is up on one of the small hills, kind of overlooking the village a bit. This place is impressive. When the meteor struck, the manor was known as Stravos Manor. It was home to a noble. And he served as the reeve of Emberwood Village, Stravos Manor. After avoiding becoming completely destitute when Drakkanheim was destroyed, he managed to convert his home into a high-end hotel. So this place is where you can see all of the most wealthy individuals here in town. You can see Stravos himself is an older man. You can see he's got sunken in cheeks, thinning hair, little monocle. Normally wears a little blue vest, well dressed.
Don't trust
But you
anyone
can
with a
see
monocle.
that, huh?
Don't trust anyone with a monocle.
You can see that
Or that keeps
the
big.
time since the fall of the meteor has definitely worn away at his noble exterior. The manor itself is a 3-story manor made of red brick. You can see it, lion-shaped gargoyles, right, and large glass-paned windows, embossed wooden doors. The estate has a dozen or so impeccable rooms, each with private baths, common room, full service staff. When you have a room in this location, it's the full shebang, right? The dining room itself is outfitted with an impressive chandelier, and drinks are served in a fine antique parlor, decorated with sculptures and paintings and all sorts of fineries, some of which you can notice that some of it has actually been damaged. It looks like some of these things have been retrieved from the actual city itself, right? You get the sense that if you were to come across particularly fine pieces of artwork, this may be the place to go with it. Although he's abandoned his civic duties, he's pretty much just another business owner in town, though he still lords his imagined authority over others. But when the town has a population of 50 or 60... Oh, yes?
Somebody named Age of Dice, I don't know who that could possibly be, just gifted 5 subs to the community, and he's now our #1 gifter for the month. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Woot woot!
Nice. Thank you.
Carry on.
I like it. So, the Reeve has been, tending to places. He likes to share wine and gossip with travelers as they come and go. But you can tell that anybody who comes here has money to spend. The rooms here are 25 gold pieces per night. It includes meals, but per person, per night. The wines and the liquors are sold for about 100 gold pieces per bottle. This is an extremely well-off establishment. Give me perception rolls, everybody. the most perceptive bunch of dwarves I've seen in a coon's age.
I'm drunk as hell, bro. I don't perceive nothing.
So Azul, you are the only one who's really paying attention. Everybody else is just thrown back by the extravagance of this place.
Okay.
But two groups of individuals capture your attention. The first of them, one moment.
Side note, I just realized I need a character sheet for Archie at some point.
I'll go ahead and I'll get you set up for sure.
My little homunculus.
Let's see what's in
What, you think he's better than me? You think he's better than me?
Yes.
So the first person that you notice is this individual here, who throughout your time you get the gist is their name is River. River is a representative of the Amethyst Academy. They tend to stay at the Red Lion Hotel, as they don't need to live outside of a luxurious environment.
What did you say her rank was?
She is just a member of the Amethyst Academy.
Okay. I thought I heard a rank. Sorry.
No. But she's a representative of them and a potential point of interest, right?
Okay.
The other group that you notice is a set of dwarves. They actually take up a corner of the main hall. There's probably 8 or 9 of them or so. And you can see that they are all kind of talking and drinking amongst themselves. And one of the things that catches your attention is they have 2 bottles on their table.
God damn.
All right. So, do we know anything about these dwarves at all at this time?
You guys can give me a history roll.
Oh, good luck with that.
Anybody else wants to make that roll, you're welcome to do so.
Let's fucking laugh at ourselves. Is that what I thought?
Heyo.
God damn.
So Wild, you're looking right and you're analyzing, imagery, runes that they may have on their equipment. Do you speak Dwarvish? I'd imagine so.
I in fact do. I speak Common, Dwarven, and Draconic.
So you're kind of analyzing all of their runes, and you notice on one of their shields, right, a family crest, and it immediately clicks for you, right? These dwarves are from the Iron Helm family of dwarves. Now, the reason why this clicks so importantly for you, and as soon as Wild, do you mention where these dwarves come from to the rest of the party?
I will in just a moment. I want to know what they are and who they are.
So the Iron Helm dwarves immediately clicks for you as they have a history with the Mountain Strider family. Probably about 150 or so years back, maybe 200 years or so, there was a conflict between the Mountain Striders and the Iron Helm dwarves over property rights to a particular mine. And it's been an ongoing feud between the two families. Think of it almost as a Hatfields and a McCoys kind of a situation, fighting for this mine. It hasn't been bloody for some time, but there is definite animosity between the two.
Who currently is in control of the mine? Do we as the Longstriders, or is it them?
As of right now, the Mountain Striders have control of the mine. It's gone back and forth, changing hands, but as of right now, the Mountain Striders have control.
Wild is going to look and go, response, agitation, a lesser dwarf clan has made their presence known. Controllers, please advise.
Fucking hell.
How loud did you
Very
say
loud.
that?
He doesn't have a quiet button.
Like, all right, gobshite, lower yourself, hey.
I'm just gonna roll, see how.
We're gonna die outside of Drakkanheim.
So you do see when he says that in regards to a lesser dwarf in the house, you do see a couple of eyes glance your group's way. How apparent are you guys in regards to your Mountain Strider clanliness?
Well, Utrecht is the spitting image of a dwarf.
So, Azul actually doesn't wear Mountain Strider like regalia. He still wears his combat medic gear,
Okay.
and he's wearing like red and crimson armor and clothing.
How about you,
My
Rikazan?
gear would all be devoted towards Hansieth, like the shield would have Hansieth's crest on it. Because I don't know if you read my slight backstory that I put in my bio. When I left on poor terms with our father, because he wanted me to be an artificer like my brethren, and I was like, no, gonna be a paladin. So I kind of turned my back on the clan for a bit, and I don't represent them if I don't have to.
So they do glance over towards you guys.
Hold on. No, I am decked out in Mountain Strider sigils because I am the proudest dwarf that lived.
Of course, I love it. Okay, so then let me give them.
Which is probably confusing.
And
Yeah. So the guy who noticed, right? The guy who looks over, you see he glances at you guys, and you can see the gears of confusion turning in his head above the NPC style, just like, what? Is that? Am I seeing that? No, I've had too many drinks.
No response.
I've had too many drinks. And they don't approach you guys at the moment. It doesn't seem that you guys have drawn too much of their attention. They seem to be busy celebrating something.
Given that we have no one to talk to and not enough money to be hanging out here, I suggest we move on to our next location.
Yes. I pulled Wild down a little bit. I'm like, all right. Says about a 4 when you're indoors, all right? Volume-wise, that is.
Adjusting volume, frequency. Is this better?
All right, thank you, Mike.
So those 4 make up the core towns, the core taverns and inns of, and that's Old Rattlecan.
Nice. Jesus.
I got beat up by that thing?
It looks like a
You got beat up by something from
Pokemon.
fucking Jack
He
and Daxter.
fucked you up, gave you the left, right,
I
and the
got beat up
uppercut.
by a fucking Digimon. That's exactly what happened.
The 2-piece and the biscuit.
Wow. You can get a whole shebang about it.
So those are the taverns and inns in town.
Okay,
Go
I love
ahead.
this thing. I've only known Old Rattlecan for a day, but if anything happened to it, I'd kill everyone in the room and then myself.
You get the sense that a lot of people feel the same way.
I'm not even mad that it beat up Wild.
Wild's not even mad that it beat up Wild.
So now some other locations that you guys might be interested in. So those were the taverns and inns. There are a couple of places here in town that you've noticed where you can do some purchasing and some shopping.
We can do that all in our downtime.
So you've got the first spot is the Crow and Sons Smithy, right? If you guys want to go through as far as the shopping things, you got all of the shops here where you can learn about what's available in the different shops.
Okay.
Key ones, you got the Crow and Sons Smithy, where they'll be able to make any kind of armor and things like that. The only thing he doesn't have available is plate mail. That's got to be made to order and is actually triple the price, right? If anybody's interested in plate mail. And in that regard, I should mention this document here, Shopping in Emberwood. So all things in Emberwood are at twice the listed cost of the player's handbook.
Oh wow. Would that would our price be reduced if we brought like materials and stuff like that?
I'm assuming at this point you guys have been expending the resources that you came in, and what you currently have is what's left of those resources.
No, absolutely. I'm talking like if we get more resources. Like if we bring him multiple suits of armor, and we sell it to him on like a credit, could we like?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. The Crow Smithy is willing to purchase back any kind of usable or salvageable material if you can melt it down or something of that nature. Fix it up. Absolutely. Anything that is generally over 500 gold pieces, right, or is especially rare, has to be brought in from outside of the city, right? Generally takes about a month to get there, right? And can cost up to 5 times the typical price of the item.
So no +3 Dwarven great axes.
So it's
unless you're bringing all your own stuff. It's
tricky, right? It is a long trek, and the reason for this is the few towns that used to be around Drakkanheim, they've all died out. There is no other village or town other than Emberwood Village within a month's travel.
Wow. Okay.
So it's essentially everybody has, think Chernobyl, and everybody just scattering from it. And that's the current state. Emberwood Village is just a handful of people who are trying to make a living off of the folks that are going in to die. There's a few other merchants, and I'm just going to go through the shopping in Emberwood, and then you guys can look at the shops themselves on your own time. There are a few people that you guys have heard, are those that are interested in trade in delirium. Those would be Aldor the Immense, Orson Fairweather, and River of the Amethyst Academy. Those are the 3 individuals that are most likely to purchase delirium, which is essentially the lifeblood of what's going on here. Everything circumvents around delirium at some way, shape, or form.
Sorry, guys. My oldest messages me on Discord. Hey, can you throw my phone towards the curtain so that I don't have to come on camera? And so I throw it, and I'm like, yeah, it's there. And then I see my curtain lift just a little bit, and a tiny hand reach out, grab their phone.
That's great.
What's funny is that they could have just walked over to you and asked for it, and it wouldn't have disrupted anything. Or I guess you have rules against that.
Nope. They just don't like being on camera without warning.
Fair.
Sorry.
So the last building assigned that would be really relevant for you guys is the one that you were actually asking about. The old watchtower. So there's an old fortified stone watchtower. It's the tallest building in Emberwood. It lies on the northern edge of town, and it's a 2-story wooden house. It's a nice little small kind of a setup. You can see they've got some fencing around the outside of it near the bridge to cross the stream. Generally speaking, you can see that there's a handful of hooded lantern scouts that take up the watchtower and just kind of keep an eye out for things. You guys have noticed Ansem and Petra Lang on occasion talking with different adventuring groups as they're making their way around town or having different dealings, and allow me to show you them.
Does that watchtower have cannons on it?
So this particular picture may, but their watchtower does not have cannons.
Okay.
Though it should be noted that gunpowder does exist in this world. And with the perception check that you had earlier, you noticed one of the Iron Helm dwarves did have a pistol on their hip.
Okay. Well, he's first to go then.
Let me bring up, where was it? DM stuff. Actions. So we've got Ansem and Petra Lang. There you go.
Other elves.
They are indeed.
They look weird.
So you guys have been in town. You've gotten to know now the surrounding terrain of the village a little bit. Got to get familiar with some of the key players. Uh, Rikazan, you did get to know a little bit. Uh, there is a temple here in town, inside of Emberwood Village. Let me bring it up here. There's the Chapel of Saint Ardenna. Right? It's a chapel of the Sacred Flame. This is the primary religion, right, of the area, as well as of the Knights of the Silver Flame. It's currently maintained by the High Priest of the temple, which would be considered a Flamekeeper Hannah.
Is that Knights of the Silver Order?
Yes, this would be the Knights of the Silver Order.
If at any point if at any point the group decides to go near the chapel, Wild would ask to be excused from entering.
That's a good question. Do we know he has a delirium core?
Wild, have you mentioned to the fact that your core is made of delirium?
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, you guys do.
That's the whole reason. I mean, the secondary reason I'm here, besides finding the father, is to find a piece of delirium that would be able to replace my core, that wouldn't make it so that I'm not corrupted.
And in addition to the chapel of Saint Ardenna, there is a shrine that's more of an amalgamation of for different gods, right? Some of the major gods for different faiths are represented here, but you don't see one for your deity.
That's fine. You make one now. It's a shrine. You just put a little mug of ale or whatever for yourself.
There you
All right. So you guys are in town. What would you like to do?
Watchtower.
Yeah, Watchtower makes sense. I mean, we need a lead as to where our father is.
100%.
You guys head over to the Watchtower, and you can see up top there's 3 guards currently stationed, all with longbows. And as you guys approach, you can hear one of them scream down and says, "Hey, who goes there?"
Oh, it's the Mountain Strider clan, it is.
Mountain Striders. Ain't heard of you folks yet. What brings you around here?
Yeah,
You must not be too
come to
popular
look-
then, eh? Because our dad used to work here. He was a mountain strider, he was.
All right, Stretch, let me do the talking, all right?
Huh. Your dad was a lantern.
Aye. Do we ever name our father?
One
Or in
second.
Mountain Strider.
Oh, he's Orin Mountain Strider.
You see the person that comes down from the top, and you can see it's a woman. The woman in the picture that I showed you guys earlier. It says, the name's Petra. Petra Lang.
All right, well met, Petra. I'm Rikazan, this is me kin.
You see,
I would
All
like
right, all
to
of
note that I am not kin.
Oh, you shut your trap.
Yes,
that's
controller
a strange
Rickerson.
one. She kind of looks at the machine a bit.
And when I say me kin, I say I, all of them. And I give her like a fucking eyebrow, like, go ahead, question me, see what happens.
Azul, by the way,
You say your dad was a lantern? What was
he
his
was?
name?
Orin?
No, doesn't sound too familiar. I mean,
as a vaguely important note, Azul may be an artificer, but he is an incredibly traditionalist dwarf. And so everything that goes on in his life is met with a sort of bemused resignation to the fact that this is how things go. So,
Well, my dude's definitely a traditionalist. Like, he's all about drinking and fighting. He's just
so
a
100% Rikazan thinks that those are the way dwarven traditions work, and Azul's just like, yeah, I guess. Sort of.
Sister Petra looks over you guys and she says, "Huh. Yeah, I don't recognize the name.
He went missing, and we recently got a letter saying that he's gone. We've
All right.
we've taken time from our duties in the army to search the ruins for him. We need
I rumble in my pack and I find
we
the
need
letter.
to know where he was last assigned.
So she grabs the letter and opens it up and says, "Huh. Signed by the Lord Commander. Well, we get a lot of folks here claiming that they received the letter, things like that. Have you guys even made it into the city at all?"
No, not yet.
Little
We just
reason to
finished
go
touring
into
the town.
little reason to go into the city before we've got any clues, eh?
All right, no need to wander about, eh?
Yeah, long
Problem is, we might not even make it to where the commander is. How about this? Head on into the city. Prove yourselves that you can actually survive. And I'll see about getting you a meeting with somebody over at headquarters.
Well, I like that some shit. You come here looking for you, Paul, and now you gotta go prove yourself, huh?
Well, thing is, if I send you traveling over there, you're probably all going to get yourselves killed. I'm not entirely sure I want to risk one of my patrols to transport a bunch of dead men.
So I look at Rickerson.
All right, we look like a bunch of men, do you?
And I say, chain of command. Can't see the commander until we've shown our ranks.
Too right you are.
Well, I think it's my body, my choice.
Well, it certainly is. It certainly is your choice. But
what sort of place? What sort of place do you think we can start proving our worth?
Well, if you want to have any kind of respect in this city at all, you have got to have at least pulled in some delirium. Have you gotten your hands on any at all?
All right, this big bloke did.
So, I was going to pointedly not mention the Warforged, but I guess that's not going to happen. So
he looks over.
I didn't say how or why.
So I say we haven't gone into the city yet. As soon as we go in, I'm sure we'll find some.
I'll see what you did there. Never mind what I said. Kind of drunk, eh?
Well, I mean, I can help you out a little. We had some reports that if you were to make your way... You guys can all see the new map?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
If you guys make your way along the Champion's Way, right? Which is this road right here.
Got it.
Center, you guys. Pink.
Thank you.
You guys make your way along the Champion's Way. There's occasionally some weird stone that you may be able to collect. But be careful.
Delirium.
Don't touch the stuff. Yeah, delirium. Damn it. Damn it. But don't touch the stuff. Make sure that you've got the right tools. Otherwise, you'll come back with 3 arms.
Tools.
I would have to
What
use
kind
them,
of
wouldn't it?
tools?
What kind of tools do we need?
Generally, you'll want some tongs and things that'll try to manipulate the shards without actually touching them with your hands. Try to keep them in containers. Most folks use almost like potion bottles type containers for them. It's tricky.
All right, let me guess. Since we don't have any, you want to set them something, eh? That's how the racket goes.
Do any of you have harvesting as a profession?
I was actually about to mention that when you let me know about the harvesting kit, I was going to add it, but I forgot. I did start with like 2 tool proficiencies I got to choose. If you're okay with me swapping out my smith's tools for harvesters.
That'll work. So the harvester's tools kit would include tongs and things like that to be able to extract delirium as well.
I probably would have known.
How
that.
much is it weigh?
Scratch my.
Let me see here. Don't stress the weight for it right now. I'll get it for you later.
Uh, so yeah, so we're good with that. So I tell her if we find any, if we find any delirium, do you want us to bring it your way?
Well, generally, the the hood lanterns take a cut of anyone that they broker a deal with. But you guys are just getting situated. Uh, let's just say we'll waive the usual cut for the lanterns this time around.
Oh, that's downright kind of you. It is.
Maybe you can help us out somewhere down the line.
All right, after you properly helped us out,
Of course. I mean, that's how the hood lanterns stay alive. Gotta watch each other's backs.
But first, you send the adventurers to go collect the crystals. I'll say.
So let's go ahead and do you guys have anything you need to do in town before we head out?
Actually, I did want to ask Petra, and I'm going to go. You are not the only one in command here, correct? You have a twin.
Yeah. You see, Petra kind of gets a little, not like overly curmudgeon, but you can see her face kind of change. She's like, "Yeah, technically, my brother's the captain, and I'm the lieutenant, but we're both in charge."
Of course. Is your brother around?
No, he's right now doing his shift inside of at the gatehouse. He's
Okay.
manning the gatehouse. I'm manning town at the moment.
Oh, okay.
So you guys know, if you guys are all looking at the map here, there are some places that are decently well known, and you'll see those already marked on your map. Emberwood Village is all the way over here, where you guys are kind of coming back from. And the Shepherd's Gate is the gate that is currently controlled by the Hooded Lanterns, and that's all the way over here. So it is a bit of a journey, and that's why you get the sense that Petra is less eager to devote so much manpower to just escort you guys there.
Because we have to go past the crater, yeah?
There's a couple of ways to get there. It really
Let's-
boils down to how you guys would like to.
Let's just
make
go
the
ahead
trip.
and plan our initial trip in there. How do you want us to do this, Joe? You want us to like pick an intersection that we're trying to get to, or
So you guys can go ahead and at the moment, you guys are just gonna make your way, because what you're doing right now, since you don't have a specific location that you guys are going to,
okay.
right? What you'd be doing is just a delirium hunt, is how it's referred to.
Is
You
there a
guys are
specific
making your way into the
location?
city.
Is
What was
there a
that?
specific location near here that we can like be like we want to go there, check it out, and then come back?
We haven't found any rumors
Absolutely. Any of the locations where you guys have kind of seen, you guys could make your way there. If you guys want to hear or look into finding out some rumors and things like that about other possible locations in the city, you could certainly do that as well.
yet. Let's start for the first day, especially since we're already an hour and a half in. Let's start with a standard delirium hunt for today, if you guys are up for it.
Okay. Yeah.
That works.
All right. So,
We could try and get to number 3, which is the gate. Let's see if we find anything along the way.
That's really close to the crater, which is, I imagine, where the worst of shit is.
Alright, so you basically want to say like in the first few neighborhoods. That
Yeah,
we're
I
walking
mean,
into.
Joe, I'm gonna draw on your map a
Right.
second.
draw away, draw away.
I'm imagining
If
that
you
we're gonna
could
try.
use red for whatever you draw.
Well, do you see where I'm? No. Of course you can.
Yeah, like
And
I was halfway to drawing, and Joe's like, "Oh, if you could use red, coño."
I think. Yeah.
I got it.
Control Z.
All right, so I was imagining that we would be in this sort of neighborhood here.
Fair.
It's yeah.
Easy
And
in,
the
easy
big
out.
thing is that we're still outside of the walled part of the city. We're still essentially on the outskirts of the city, but we're close to whatever this thingy is and whatever this thingy is.
Fair.
What are the little scarecrows?
I imagine rumors that we can find out about.
Okay.
Those are the ones that are the little scarecrow bits are fairly known places, right? If you actually
Legends
look
of
over
Valhalla.
here, you got the key. Those are some of the different places, different taverns that are decently known around the outskirts of town, or major buildings within the inside of the wall.
The map that she gave us has the key and all the little points
Yep,
of interest.
for at least
Okay.
some of the basic locations is what I'll say.
All right.
Okay. Fair. And now, where exactly does the mist start and end around here?
Pretty much,
Like how far in can we go?
when you step onto this map, you are in the mist.
Mm-hmm. Because you said there was taverns and stuff in here. How the hell
Oh
did
no, not
they
open.
stay
This
here?
entire city is completely deserted except for people
Okay.
to go in. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Even outside the walls. The only place that is populated, from what I understand, is Emberwood.
Is Emberwood. Gotcha.
All right. So we get our donkey wagons and whatnot and our.
Or are you guys going to be taking the wagons?
No, I would not. I would say unless we planned on needing to load something into the wagon, I think we should probably go on foot.
I mean,
Yeah.
if we're not
Probably
planning
good
an
on
actual
the
dungeon
outskirts,
crawl
huh?
and we're just searching buildings, having the wagon may be useful.
Yeah, but I don't know how well the donkeys are going to do in the haze.
I mean, we're not planning on staying long, but I'll leave it to a vote. I think it could be useful, unless you guys are planning on going underground. Joe?
Oh, I thought you were asking me for a second.
We're not planning on
No.
staying. I was gonna say we're not planning on staying very long, so I don't think we really need huge
And
transportation.
I also don't know how the streets look. What if they're all...
Right. Yeah, what if...
You know what?
If they're all, it was like rubble everywhere. It might
That's
be
a good
impassable
point.
for the.
Let's do the initial
the cart.
receipt and leave the wagons at home.
Because if we cut out a part of this city as our little hunting grounds, at least we could make the streets look a little better and whatever. Then come back with the carts and then do the deep dives into the
Right,
houses
exactly.
and
All
stuff.
right, sounds good.
That being said, I'm going to go ahead and just deduct the 51 gold from the party loot for the whatchamacallit?
The cart, donkey.
For the loot.
Donkey.
14
So,
gold.
as you guys, it takes about 2 hours to get from Emberwood Village to the outskirts of town in the fog.
Okay.
As you guys are starting to approach, you can see it's middle of the day, and you can see this cloud of fog, just 100 feet high. It is, well, maybe not 100 feet high, but it is very impressive. Nestled within the pine-covered valley, Drakkanheim is a walled metropolis that straddles the wide and sluggish Dran River. A high rocky hill rises above the city, upon which perches Castle Drakkanheim. Below the imposing fortress, cobblestone streets weave around densely packed stone buildings and slate-shingled spires. The city spills from the outer walls into a ruined urban sprawl. The great dome of St. Vitruvio's Cathedral stands prominently southwest of the castle. That's this over here. St. Vitruvio's cathedral is this one over here. You can see, even from sticking out from the fog, you can see the cosmological clock tower. well known for telling far more than time, even though it's been broken and frozen for the last 100 years. Along the northwestern side, the impossibly tall and shattered inscrutable tower, home of the uh, once home of the Amethyst Academy. Did I actually? I didn't post it. I posted it up in the Discord. 1 second. I'll just add it real quick.
It's very subtle, but someone has like air blowing on their mic, I think.
Let me see if it is my fan. So, add handout. I'll just fix this for you guys. Boom, boom, boom.
The only people I see lit up currently is you and Wyatt for transmitting.
So it could be me. So there we go. This is what I wanted to show you guys. So this is the view that you guys can kind of see from the outskirts, right? You guys all see that there. You can see the castle Drakkanheim way there in the back. The massive crater. The inscrutable tower is the tower that looks like it's snapped in two with the top half
and still
floating separately from the bottom.
That's crazy.
You can see the billowing clouds of purple haze sprawling through the streets and casting a strange purple glow. It is bleak, to say the least. As you guys start approaching, the mist-shrouded countryside gives way to the crumbled buildings and twisted mud-filled streets. Entering the desolate ruined city, you pass corpses of long-dead, bloated horses. The smell of ozone fills the air as you walk through tattered rubble of the outer city. Every once in a while, you can hear sounds like the barking of a dog. Maybe it's the screams of somebody carried in the wind. Either way, this place leaves with terrible feeling in mind. I'm curious, as you guys are making your approach, would you like to travel swiftly, at a regular pace, or slowly? The difference there would be if you are traveling slowly, you'll be able to make use of stealth. If you're traveling at a normal pace, you won't be able to use stealth, but you will have advantage on perception checks should folks try to sneak up on you guys. And if you are moving quickly, mechanically speaking, you are a little more likely to come across trouble.
I would say move at a regular pace. My vote.
If we move at the slow pace, we get a bonus on stealth. Do we still get the advantage on stealth checks against other people?
If you're moving at a slow pace, you'll be able to use the stealth. You wouldn't get the advantage because, as opposed to trying to take the spots that give you the best vantage point, you're looking for spots that give you, the best stealth.
Gotcha.
And
I would go with the normal pace then, because none of us are
At
rogues.
this point, Uhtred says, "Oh, y'all been looking at this folk. You guys want to come back on the broad today?"
I don't think it gets any broader than this, lad. This is kind of what it looks like, unfortunately.
Well, why don't you take this shithole then?
That's the question now, isn't it?
Protecting the innocents.
There you go.
You mean them horses?
You say horses?
The bloated dead horses.
The
Or
dead
houses.
horses.
Oh, I mean, like, the people that were riding the horses, eh?
When he leave,
give me a perception check.
Who?
All of you guys. And Rickerson, you can actually give yourself advantage on it. There you go.
All right. Well, there
So
you
when you
go.
start pointing out, the people who are riding the horses, you actually do notice a body, right? And while you can see the body of the horse is bloated and started to decay a bit, it's strange. That body of the person doesn't look like it's decaying.
I fucking throw a pebble at him.
Bounces off of him. Corpse. Doesn't twitch.
I wasn't sure. Could have been an ambush.
Well, either the mist either the mist affects beasts worse than it does Yumi's, or the Yumi's a little fresher, eh?
Uhtred nods. That makes sense to Uhtred. Uhtred's not very smart, so it sounds about right to him.
As you guys-
Azul looks at.
Oh, at this point, I'm sorry. Assume that at this point, anything that Rickus says is in Dwarvish. He's not trying to let anyone overhear their plans. If there's any humans, goblins, orcs, whatever, ne'er-do-wells in the vicinity, he doesn't want anyone dropping eaves on him. So he switched to Dwarvish.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that's fair.
I can't speak Dwarvish in real life, so I'm
So,
gonna try to.
Azul looks at Wild. Actually, looks at Uhtred and Wild. Do you guys want to check the body while Rika and I cover you?
I'm going to go ahead and whir up my crossbow and go, response, faulty. I think we could just shoot it to find out if it's alive.
The question isn't if it's alive. The question is, does it have anything worth removing from it?
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn my crossbow and take a pot shot and just kind of sink it into its flesh.
Give me an attack roll.
Oh, okay.
20.
Bolts cost money.
21 to hit.
Sink it right into the thing's neck. Doesn't twitch.
Okay. Wild's going to go clank, 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 and remove the bolt from its neck and then check the body.
Roll me a 50-50. So I'll set up the API to track your ammo and all of that later. But just roll me a 50-50 D100.
Okay. Can I call high or low now?
Yeah, call it.
I'll call high.
Okay.
Oh!
When you pull it out,
Oh,
the
Lord.
arrow's already no good. The shaft is kind of cracked.
I'm sorry. I don't have bolts. I completely apologize. My crossbow creates bolts.
Never mind then. You don't need to worry about the ammo, and you just saved me having to track an API
Alright.
for you.
And that,
Oh, you rolled a
When you go to pull out the bolt, it turns into fucking ash. Apparently.
Good thing that thing wasn't good when you fired it.
I roll from 1 to 100. You roll the fucking 1. You literally go to grab it, and it's just dust in the wind at that point.
So,
Like how the fuck?
what it is that he goes to grab it, then he remembers that all his bolts are magical and don't actually exist.
Right, exactly.
Does not compute. He goes. It's like 10. Shoot bolt. 20 doesn't. Bolt does not exist. Go back to
Uhtred
10.
would have
so if
fought.
you guys
There's like one
could
error in his fucking brain.
go ahead and you guys are going to be making your way into the city. At moving a normal pace through the city streets, you can move about a half a mile
Wait,
an
did you
hour.
find anything on the body?
Oh, sorry. On the body itself, can somebody give me a investigation roll?
It's for Mother Dwarf. Oop.
I was gonna say I believe it was either Wild or.
Is
Right,
anybody can we grant? I mean, I already rolled, but can we use the help action to assist each other or no?
For something like this, you could, yeah. You could
Okay.
either do.
I'm gonna come over and fucking check. Nope.
So you guys are all kind of looking around, and the best that you can tell is
Uhtred goes,
this guy's got a lot of
There's a
arrow
dead
holes
guy
in him.
here.
Yeah, that's about as good as it gets.
And I'm like, wait, I don't see him.
We're fucking
So
idiots.
I'm gonna ask, as you
Yeah,
guys are
horses
starting
usually-
to make your way deeper into the city towards where they had mentioned, that everybody roll me a d20, and this is your first hour into the
Okay.
city. All right.
Hold on, I win.
So you guys have made yourselves in about half a mile into the city. You're looking around. It is desolate in the extreme. Even now that you guys are in the fog, even with it being day, sunlight is not penetrating.
Thank God.
So, I can't remember? Did they take away the drow sunlight sensitivity?
No, that's why I said thank God. Because I
So
am baller in Drakkanheim.
you are fully aware that the sun is not bothering you in the slightest. The sun does not penetrate to that extreme. Uh, that's actually really good. That's a lifesaver there for a fucking drow.
Does Wild have dark vision?
Does what have dark vision?
Wild.
Wild.
Wild Warforged do not have dark vision naturally. You guys, so even with or without dark vision at this distance, you guys can see about 120 feet out before the fog gets too thick for you to be able to see clearly.
So
I think regular dwarves have 60 feet and I have 120 or some nonsense.
that is correct.
Better dark vision, yeah.
So that would be for dark vision. This is not so much a dark vision situation versus just an opaque fog kind of a situation.
For the record, Azul 100% bitches about the fact that Ulrich did not give his automaton dark vision. He's like, how the fuck could you not think of that?
Yeah.
It was one of the things he had to sacrifice, you know?
He's just like,
maybe he had dark vision, but it got corrupted by his core.
Oh, I do not have dark vision.
We were just discussing that.
We were just discussing that at length.
Not into it.
Yeah. I can't believe they don't have dark vision.
I can't believe it's not butter.
Yeah.
So, you guys are about half a mile into the city. Go ahead and give me your next 1d20 roll as you guys make your way further into the city. So you're about now going to be 2 hours in.
Okay. What's the scale on this map?
The map is to scale.
Oh, there it is. I see it at the bottom.
No. Just use the ruler.
Oh.
The map is to scale.
Herp. Alright, so at 2 miles, we're...
No. 2 hours gives you about a mile. So you guys are probably getting close to the main intersection where they had been directing you guys.
Okay. Essentially, we're at the edge of our desired search zone.
So when you guys are searching the runes, this applies for when you're doing delirium hunts or if you're searching for just about anything. What I'm going to need you guys to do is you can either make investigation rolls or survival rolls as you start to search around. And this is a group check. If you're looking for specific things or you have a particular skill that you may want to apply to a search, right, let me know, right? And it may apply. Like for this particular instance, since you guys are looking for delirium deposits, I would also allow an Arcana roll.
Okay.
Can I use Divine Sense to pick up any delirium?
So when you use your Divine Sense, you don't sense the delirium itself. It doesn't give off any kind of a particular like evil aura or celestial aura of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
Other things that you could do, right, in regards to searching the ruins, is you can either, if you don't want to be one of the people that's searching, you could either use stealth or perception, and these won't necessarily contribute to the number of successes or what you're looking for, but they can help negate failures.
So,
There.
as we're searching, Archie and I keep watch. So we'll go ahead and do perception.
Okay.
I'm fucking terrible at pretty much anything that doesn't involve me hitting it with a hammer.
I rolled survival.
Archie is a sorry. Hold on, let me double check here. I just looked at this and then I looked it up and then promptly forgot.
Sure.
What I'll do is instead of for this type of a situation, if you have Archie out and exploring, right? I'll allow Archie to aid you in your perception if you're keeping like a watch.
Oh, Archie has a +4 to perception, where I only have a +1. I don't know. What do you think?
So
Is better?
if you want to use, I'll let you pick. You can either make the roll with advantage, or you could just use Archie's and just do a straight Archie roll.
I do want to
It'd
say
be harder for you to help him because he's kind of got the good eye.
I'll pick
with
the
that roll, did you just convince the fog to leave us alone? Because you're doing a 20 persuasion roll.
Oh shit! I rolled persuasion instead of perception.
Just leave us alone.
Like shoe
So we keep
fogs.
the
So
number
I
roll,
am
use your
looking
bonus.
for Wild's roll.
I'm sorry. I'm going to go ahead and roll Arcana.
Okay.
God damn it! I went from rolling a 20 to rolling a fucking 8.
Why wouldn't we just take your perception bonus and add it to the?
Yeah,
perception roll?
you keep the first roll.
All right.
It was a natural 19.
So it's a 19.
So, all right. So that actually is one failure. And that equates to a couple of successes. Look at that. So, you guys are looking around, and pretty quickly, right? You can see that Wild, he's got a good sense for the arcane, and Uhtred's his natural dwarven instincts and being able to track down stones and minerals.
A fucking
It just-
natural dwarven instincts, motherfuckers. Booyah! Boom, man!
So what I'm going to ask that you guys go ahead and roll for me. Oh, that was close. Yeah, that was close. So, Wild, go ahead and roll me a d6.
You got it. You got it. 2.
All right. So you guys, and then
Thanks for the follow, Beatrice.
Uhtred, if you could go ahead and roll 3d6.
Ooh.
So you guys find, you managed to find embedded in the ground 2 delirium fragments and 9 delirium chips.
Nice.
So it would take a little bit of time to get these out, but you guys have actually managed very, very quickly to be able to track down a small delirium deposit. It looks like the tip that they gave you was pretty good.
The harvester's tools I have, the pack that I have, does it come with vials and stuff to
Yes.
hold? Okay, cool. Will I be able to hold all of the chips and fragments with my harvester's tools set?
With what you've got right now, yeah. Because it would take, you could put multiple fragments inside of one of the jars,
Okay,
right? And multiple chips inside of another.
Cool. In that case, I'm going to go to work meticulously with my harvester's tools, kind of just like clink, 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 clink.
Now,
So it's going to take a couple of minutes. What does everybody else want to do while Wild is working on collecting this harvest that you guys have found?
Now, Uhtred's generally sorry.
I can't-
Bro, Uhtred's generally curious, like, where the fuck do these deposits come from? Are they going from the ground? Does it look like? Is there any way of indicating, hey, maybe there might be some in a different direction by looking at one deposit? Like, is it part of a larger vein? So, I don't know what you'd want me to roll, but I'm like, where do you think this shit comes from, eh? And he's like looking around.
With your survival roll, I can give you some information on that. It looks like these shards have almost embedded in the ground in some way, right? So it's a part of, generally speaking, it's a part of a larger rock formation, almost like a gem might be sticking out of a piece of rock in that kind of a formation.
Uhtred looks up. He looks towards the crater, and he thinks if this was an explosion, there's a particular blast pattern. The rocks may have all fallen in a given line. And then he goes, wait, I'm stupid. And he doesn't say anything because he never actually had that thought to begin with.
Anybody else want to do anything as far as inspecting or things like that?
No, I want to stay essentially on alert.
Yeah.
Those
Ricker realizes that he doesn't have a nose for this sort of work, and he just unslings his shield and his hammer and just keeps him a watch.
Those of you that are on watch, go ahead and give me a perception roll. Those of you that are inspecting or working on the harvest, go ahead and give me a harvesting roll.
I can use my proficiency in my harvester's tools, correct?
You can use your proficiency, yes. Which you don't get is expertise for the harvester's tools.
I do not have expertise, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, there you go. I think you get it next level. So it takes you about 5 minutes, but you are able to work on it, being very slow and being very careful. In that 5 minutes, where was your... All right, so the 15 and the 17. So Uhtred and Rikazan. You hear some...
I would also like to use my... I'm sorry. I was going to say I would like to use my divine sense to see if there's anything nearby.
So divine sense. Can you ping it for me? What's the range on it?
Sure. I believe it's 60 feet. Hold
on.
60 feet. Go ahead and just mark the second one that you've used so far, and within 60 feet you don't feel anything. But you do hear some commotion down the street. It almost sounds like rummaging, like strays going through the trash.
Not in this good city. This city that is nothing wrong with it whatsoever. No strays here.
It's an ability and not a spell. It doesn't really have a place for me to mark.
I'll set you up
Usages.
with... You should have it in the resources
I got
bit.
it. I got it. Yeah, I see it. I see it was next to my lay on hands.
So, I didn't hear it, so someone's going to have to let me know what's going on.
Yeah, Uhtred and Rikazan, both of you can hear that rummaging. Might be about 120 or so feet away from where you guys are at. Right near the edge of where the fog gets really bad.
Like, all right, lads, it sounds like we got someone over there rummaging like we are. And I point with my hammer. It's in the direction that, mind you, this is still in Dwarvish,
right.
So.
Uhtred does carry a crossbow in addition to his fucking giant two-handed maul. So I will just be preparing in case I got to fire at some shit. It also occurred to me, Dungeon Master, I never removed the excess of shit that I would never bring with me into Drakkanheim from my inventory, so I'm showing as encumbered.
Yeah.
I will fix that for next session.
I also didn't do
Yeah,
that.
feel free to drop up whatever you're going to drop in the
storage.
storage, so that way you guys are not encumbered.
Yeah.
The homunculus
Right.
is not a familiar, so I cannot actually look through its eyes.
No. But it does have an
myself-
intelligence of 10 and can speak and things like that,
Yeah.
so...
I purposely walk slightly towards where the sound is coming from. So if anything does come from that direction to attack us, I'm the first one it sees.
Okay.
And I kind of like toss my hammer up and down a bit in my hand and limber up just in case, like stretch a bit.
How close to that direction do you want to move?
About like 10 feet.
Okay.
Not super far. Like I'm keeping everyone behind me, but I'm not like purposely making it known that I'm heading towards that direction.
Gotcha. Are you being quiet at all?
I mean, as much as a chainmail lady dwarf can be.
So yes.
Go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Sure.
All right, nat 1. So you are kind of walking away. And you take 2 steps, right, and you immediately you kick with one of your feet by mistake. You kick a hunk of rubble, right, and that piece of rubble slams into another chunk of like the edge of a building, and then you see and it causes a small little avalanche of some rubble, and it just kind of echoes, and you can see the dust kind of flow out, and the echo of the collapsing rubble just kind of echo across the area.
Oh, I meant to do that.
When
You all seen it?
when you hear that, you see the noise that you heard, right? As far as like a rummaging, like a stops.
Hmm.
By this point, Wild, you've managed to collect those bits of weird stone. So whoever is manning, as far as like group loot or things like that, you guys have collected so far 2 delirium fragments and 9 delirium chips.
All right. Do they have a weight or?
Wait. For the chips, no. Well, I've got it here actually.
Say, to be fair, had I known I was going to be at a disadvantage running heavy armor,
So
I
the
never
chips,
would've
the
so-
chips are a quarter pound, and the fragments are half pound.
Chip or a quarter pound, and I have 7 chips.
9 chips,
10 chips. Okay.
and then 2 fragments, and they're half pound each.
But yeah, Joey. I mean, I'm not going to retcon anything because I hate when people retcon shit. But now knowing the way 5th edition works and the heavy armor thing, I would not have gone stealth had I known I was at disadvantage. But I'm going to take it as a live and learn type of
Yeah.
experience.
It happens.
The rubble falling and me going meant to do it.
So
I'm not going to take that away from
you do hear that kind of go quiet.
Oh, that sound like rustling. That sound like eating.
Wild's gonna stand up, holding 2 bottles very carefully, and just place them very, very cautiously into his harvester's pack, and then close it and clip it shut, and then look up and go, "Collection is complete. We may move to the next site."
All right. We heard dogs before, eh? Don't think any proper dog lives in this mist here, so might want to keep an eye out.
So Azul looks at his brothers. And a half.
Izzy, boom.
Azul looks at his brothers and Wild. Do we want to investigate the sound, or do we want to leave it be and move further into the city and look for some more delirium?
More delirium would be my vote if I had a
Well,
vote.
you don't think it's Dad over there, do you?
Oh,
Then we should
doubt
not
it.
fuck with it.
All right, I agree with Stretch.
Agreed. So Joe, we just like, eh, they're not coming this way. We're not going that way.
So what I'm gonna need then is a group stealth check.
What if we're not being stealthy?
Yeah, I think we're just walking the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Bang, bang.
This is not like we're sneaking away. This is where like, this is our first time in the city. We're all veteran adventurers, but we're like, yeah, wild animals don't attack large troops. We're just gonna walk away and leave it be.
Okay.
More of the mind of if it's another group or party who's doing their little, searching of the area. Hopefully they just decide, you know what, we heard some shit over there and we're going to go in the opposite direction. And, but at the same time, he's going to think if it's another group searching, they might also attack us. So, perception, I'm going to make sure that nothing's following us. But we're also just like, we'll just avoid that and hopefully they'll avoid us and we can go on with our lives. But if not, then they're going to catch these hands.
We're absolutely
these highly
moving.
dwarven hands.
Yeah, we're absolutely moving, prepared for some shit, but with the hopes that we can avoid it if necessary.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
like my shield and hammer are definitely on limit at this
Uhtred,
point.
go
so.
ahead and give me a perception check.
I knew you'd ask. Whoop.
So as you guys are starting to make your way, right, deeper in, you are most certainly being followed.
Fair.
And whatever it is, what pace are you guys currently moving?
Normal pace, yeah.
Normal pace.
Normal pace?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you make this known to the party, Uhtred?
If we're normal, I will. But I would say if we're normal pace, do I have advantage on that roll?
Yeah, so you would have had the 22.
Got it. So
Go ahead.
to say, I think there's a hard chance that he's following us.
Response, warning, identify yourself or be shot.
All right, and with that,
There goes my explanation, or there goes my my desire to lay an ambush.
Oh,
I was gonna have
yeah.
Archie see what he sees, but
yep.
Wait, how loud did you say it? Are you still at a 4 volume-wise, or did you revert to your...
No. When we entered the city, I entered into like a 7 volume.
I was gonna say, to be fair, I told him when he was indoors to be a 4, so this is technically outdoors.
Yep, that's where we're at. Cowabunga it is.
I say...
Cowabunga.
Alexa, volume 2. I mean, wild. Volume 2.
Identify yourself or be shot.
Wild is
So I'm
gonna
gonna-
give me the vapors more than Ulrich ever would.
Tread. Ooh, tread.
No, Ulrich is his
Ulrich is the other
creature.
one.
Oh.
So if you guys could go
It's the-
ahead
it's the finger
and
waggler.
kind of show me how you guys would make your way down the town here.
I do.
Which way are we coming from?
Which way were we headed? North?
Where are we coming
Yeah.
from? Where are we going?
So you would have been coming from the south, making your way north.
And this is just for keeping the squishies like kind of out of the way. I would think we would be going as Rikazan, Uhtred, Wild, or Azul, and then Wild. Because while I'm a ranged fighter, I have an
Well-
18 AC.
I'm fine with that.
Feel free
Yeah.
to
I'll say,
situate you guys'
Yeah, let's-
usual travel path.
Let's do a T.
Typically speaking, I would assume that Rika would be
Yeah.
in front. But knowing that we had an enemy at our back and an unknown situation at our front, I think Rikazan would have been taking the rear.
Okay, then Wild and
Because that's the
Wild-
closest
let's
closest
have
danger.
Wild and Rikazan change spots then.
Yeah.
So Uhtred,
Because we know we have enemies at our back. We don't know what's at the front. So Rika would have been, let me take the rear for now in case something
yeah,
follows
so
us.
Uhtred, make a T with Rika and yourself with a 5-foot space between you guys. Like Uhtred here. There you
Oh.
go. That's fine.
No, like this, like this, and then one right here.
No,
like
that's fine. He's
Yeah,
fine
the
there.
diamond.
I'll just adjust on
Okay.
him. There you go.
Because Uhtred's a front liner.
Wild,
so-
give yourself 1 square forward also. Right,
Okay.
there you go. That's our So that or that reversed is our standard marching procedure.
All right. So
And
you
then,
guys have,
of course, once we get to the point where someone casts Fireball at us, we'll adjust.
well, get ready because it's coming. Fireball.
Oh, shit.
So
Before you land an ancient red worm,
Die.
what do? Shit pants.
Oi! I think someone put shit in me pants.
as you guys are
What if you
moving,
coward shit
right?
my pants?
As you guys are moving, you start to hear that noise coming up, right? That's been closing in on you guys. Actually, that's just a little bit up more, so it's proper.
Like, if we have an advanced warning, I kind of feel like there might be a little bit of taking cover happening, grabbing high ground. If not, that's fine.
So, well, that's what I'm saying. Right at this point, you guys, this is where you hear Wild scream out, right? And when he screams out, you hear the steps of what's coming quicken,
Hmm.
and they come rushing towards you guys.
Essentially, what Joey is saying is that nobody is surprised we are now in initiative.
Essentially. Let me just bring these guys onto the map. One. Copy.
Little men, little boys. Some good-looking fellas.
Fucking zombies.
I fucking hate zombies. 5th edition zombies is 100% one of those. Do you remember, Joe, we were having that conversation the other day about shit whose CR is incorrect?
Hey, man.
The zombies are
Things are interesting.
zombies are 100% on the list of shit whose CR is not correct.
So you can see these zombies starting to charge for you guys. You guys should have 60 feet, though, of space. I'm going to move you a little bit back. Because they just kind of rushed forward, closing that 120 to 60 feet. So they're at the where you guys are at. And we are rolling for initiative, which I will do for you guys. Just give me one moment. Oops.
I assume if I use divine sense, it would go
It would definitely go off. Well, remember, you were at 110 feet away when you used
Yeah.
it.
No, I got you.
Boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom. So
I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying, like,
So we
All
said we were
times.
walking armed, so what I had on out, Joe, was the hammer and axe.
okay. So Rikazan, you are actually first up on the line. You can see these creatures; they are rushing towards you guys, and they're moving quickly.
So they'll be on us next turn.
Potentially.
All right, I will move up slightly to put some more distance between myself and the ranged. And all I have is a hammer and a shield, really, plus a spear. Because I gave away my javelins for a spear. But so I don't really have much to do. I just kind of bang my hammer into my shield, like, "Come at me, then, you little shites!"
In this edition, you can take what's called the dodge action, which gives everyone attacking you disadvantage.
Okay, I'll do that then. I'll take dodge.
Go with the boot of dodging.
Which your other option would be you can do what's called a held action, which is you set a condition and an action that you will take when that condition is reached. So in this case, you can say, when one of them gets in range, I hit them with my hammer. As an example.
Well, would the dodge work against one or all of them?
Yeah, dodge works against all.
I'll take the dodge.
Dodge is an amazing
dodge.
thing, and if we're ever in a hallway, that is exactly what you're going to spend your entire life doing.
So you see this first one come sprinting up towards Rikazan, but he is out of the range of being able to actually do anything about it. They are dashing up.
There. I hope you fucking trip.
None of them have range, right? They all have claws.
So, Rikazan, you have fought zombies in the past. You know, it's one of those things that it's low tier paladin shit. What you notice off of these guys is there's, out of some of the open wounds and out of their mouth, right? You can see almost like a purple mist coming out of them. Uhtred, you are up.
Before Uhtred goes, are we allowed to speak as free actions between people's turns or no?
So what I've done in the past is, if you want to say something like that, you can burn your reaction to say something like a little bit more advanced. If you're just going to say like a 1 or 2 word thing, it won't cost you your reaction.
Okay, I'm going to burn my reaction and say, Uhtred, take arm with Rikazan. Don't move to either side of him. We're basically pointing out this position here.
Cool.
All right. Uhtred, you are up.
I'm fine with that. I was not sure where I wanted to go. It was going to be moved left or right, but assuming that he's going to take that as his firing line, I'm not going to step into it. I actually think that was pretty short. I don't know if you have to burn your reaction, but I'll step up and I will crack the zombie that is directly in front of my brother.
Okay, go ahead and give me an attack roll. That's going to hit.
Oh, sweet.
Not by much, but it still does hit.
And then I roll the next to it the damage.
If you hit where it says Maul,
yeah,
in the chat box, it'll roll.
Got it.
4 damage. There you go. You crack into it, and you hear a little as some more of that mist kind of comes out of it as you clock it in the gut.
They seem to be infected.
I have better early than late. I have action surge, which gives me an extra action until I take a long rest. So I'm gonna crack the fucker again because it's one of those things where the sooner we kill things, the less we get attacked.
Yep, go for it. So go ahead, pop your. I meant first use the ability so it tracks in the chat box, and that'll hit as well.
Do I click the little message bubble?
Yes, and it should pop up. There you go.
Got it.
And it's actually on a short rest, which is even better.
Yeah, all the fighter stuff is short rest.
With trance, and given the fact that I don't have to sleep, I can just kind of zone out for 4 hours and get a long rest, which is pretty sweet.
You still need 4, so sort of.
Yeah,
I read
you'd be able. You wouldn't get a long rest in 4 hours. What you'd be able to negate is the need for sleep, as far an exhaustion standpoint.
Got it. Okay. So I had read an article that was like, since they ask for rest and not sleep, trance is considered a long rest because you're not asked to sleep. But I leave it up to you. You're the GM.
I'd let you get the benefits for the sleep part of it, but not so much for the long rest of it. Like, you wouldn't be able to just regain all of your stuff in 4 hours.
Okay.
He's a fighter anyway. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, for that matter. Ooh, that's a huge...
I was going to say, I didn't play the Sleepless Warlock. You're welcome.
That's a huge hit. You crack into him, and you hear all of the bones on one side just break and puncture through the side flesh, and then you can see where those holes are. You can see that steam kind of coming out. You still have your bonus action and some movement should you want to take it.
What does one do with a bonus action? Because I'm not used to this edition.
So I put up the combat sheet.
Yes,
Let me see.
You might
So
have.
combat cheat sheet gives you an idea of some bonus actions, and then other than that, it'd be any ability that specifically says bonus action.
Izzy, what should I do? What could I do?
Yeah, I would say for right now you got nothing, but being a low level fighter.
You still have your movement. Should you want to step anywhere?
Nah, I'm gonna
Any
stick
movement
to
you do right now is going to cause an attack of opportunity, though.
Yeah, which I don't want. I'm good where I am.
Okay. So go ahead in the chat bubble a little bit up. You'll have the done button. There you go. This guy's coming up.
I'm coming out.
Wild, that brings you up.
He's back.
Oh.
Sorry about that.
Well,
good.
you're up.
All right. So I am going to go ahead and move up 5, 10. And is that zombie down right now? The one in the middle?
It is very badly hurt.
Okay. I have a spell that I may cast. It's a 10-foot cube. Do I use one of the radius macros for it or no?
Are you doing Thunderwave?
I'm going to be doing grease.
Grease. Okay, so grease for right now. The radius is grease is a 15-foot cube, right?
It's a 10-foot square centered on a point.
10-foot square. So if you could, I'll get some other things for grease and stuff like that. But for right now, just draw a little 10-foot square.
Okay, a little 10-foot square. I'm gonna go ahead.
I love grease. It's such a good spell.
Here. It is a very good spell. I'm gonna go ahead and put it right there, and they both have to make dexterity saving throws.
The hurt one and this other one will have to make dexterity checks. Boom. Dexterity saves. Why did it only do one of them? It should have done both. So that one fails, and the other one fails. So they both fall prone.
Cool. Have fun with your advantage, gentlemen.
I like this robot.
You still have your
just
movement
so you know,
and your...
this is like my crossbow like opens up and shoots like a jet, like a little jet of grease that comes out and just kind of cracks and it goes all over the ground.
I love it. Oops. You got a nice little patch of grease on the ground. Go ahead and hit done.
It actually jumped. Oh, there you go.
Question. Dancing lights is a cantrip. There's no actual heat component to it, right? It says a bit of phosphorus.
Dancing light. So if you're thinking about what I think you're thinking, which is like to light the grease, it'd have to do something that actually does fire damage, is what I would say.
Okay. That's fair.
So I'm attacking the one closest to me, and the injured one is getting the fire.
Because this is... it does the 1d8 to somebody else?
No, it does the... It's only going to do my spellcasting modifier, so it's only going to do 3 damage to somebody else.
Gotcha.
Does a 13
so that is going to hit.
Yeah, does a 13 hit a prone zombie?
It definitely does. Even the 9 hits, really.
So 5 damage to this one, and then 3 damage to the one that's injured.
3. And the 3 is...
magical fire damage.
So I'm going to give him a dex check, or a dex save, I'll say. You see this guy actually ignites.
He's on fire!
Go ahead and give me... roll me a d6. So he takes 3. You see, this guy is definitely on fire. The fire hasn't quite hit the rest, but it's starting to definitely spread to the rest of the grease.
I like that you made grease flammable. I appreciate it.
I mean, it should.
Should be. I agree.
It should be
I'm
fine.
just saying.
I like spell interactions, and it encourages people to be clever with stuff. I mean, don't think that I'll give you everything every time, but I'll give you something here and there.
Honestly, I think grease you should be able to light it on fire than cast the wish spell. I mean, that's just me though.
So this guy's coming up. You'd actually have to go around that. Boom. This one rushes up. This one rushes up. Okay. Rikazan, you are up. You got one flaming zombie in front of you. It's kind of on the ground. He's kind of flailing around a little bit.
If I use dodge, that takes my attack.
Correct.
Action,
Yep.
right? I mean, I assume the one that's on the floor burning is gonna burn himself out. So the one that's to the right of the red one, which I guess would be this guy.
If you go to the left, he's prone, so you get advantage on the attack. Yep.
Yeah, the two in the middle that are in the grease have been both knocked to the ground.
Okay.
So you get.
All right, so I'll take the prone one
That'll hit.
Cool.
You want to click on the where it says Warhammer in the chat box.
Gotcha.
There you go. Smacking away on him.
I'm gonna smite this motherfucker.
You can see he actually is. You crack him there and you smack his jaw, and the jaw kind of flops off, and you can see now from the hole where his jaw was that purple mist coming out.
I mean, I've fought zombies before. Does he still look like he's got some fight
He's
left?
got a little bit of fight, but he's hurting.
Because I'm debating whether or not I should smite his ass.
So for future reference, I'll let you do the smite now if you want to, but for future reference, I'll ask that you smite before you determine whether or not the guy's still alive. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense.
But if you want to add a smite now, because we hadn't
hit.
established that before, you are more than welcome to. It would do 3d8 damage.
Is the one 3? Oh yeah, because he's undead, right? Yeah, I might as well smite him.
Okay.
Why not? So many windows open.
And
Oh
damage.
my gosh.
Yeah, that was that. You hit him, and as you kind of the jaw, right? You cause this explosion of radiant energy, and versus just the jaw being blown off, the whole like front of the face is gone. But he is just barely on his feet. So.
I used one of my spell slots.
Yeah,
so
for your spell slots, you have to manually do that whenever you use a smite. Smites won't automatically remove the spell.
Yeah. I went in and changed it.
So, Joe, there is a question in the chat. So, with Land of Ice and Snow, we allow viewers to spend 1,000 points to give a player inspiration.
I love it.
Okay. So, Beatrice, I'll type it out.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So what I'm gonna
carry on. Sorry.
So what I'm gonna do here is, since this grease is starting to go, this guy here, he's still on the ground. I'm gonna give him a dex save. No. So, Rikazan, this now whole patch is on fire.
Okay.
Come on, I know I got it.
Assuming it's like a dirty, like, cow.
Not that much fire.
Fucking hell!
Let's say assuming that patch is on top of like a dirty cobblestone floor with no real accelerants nearby, so it shouldn't spread past the grease, right?
As far as you know. So go ahead and roll me a d6. See how much fire damage this one takes. Yep.
Me?
You're the one that was attacking him. Oh, you're killing me, Joe. You're killing me.
My dice is
He
terrible.
is on fire, but you see, for whatever reason, he is just holding on to that last sliver of undead breath as
He's on fire, but for some reason,
as he stands up. Bam. He's gonna stand up and he's gonna take a swipe at you, Rika.
Alright.
Take off the boot because you're no longer dodging. 12.
Nope. My AC is
Not
19.
gonna do it. The next one comes up. Azul, go ahead and roll me the burn damage on this one.
Alrighty.
He burns.
No, keeps burning. So this one, you see he's burning, he's burning, he's burning. And you can see that as the flesh is dripping off, more of this purple haze is coming out of the body. And then pop! Almost like a balloon, it explodes. I'm going to need a saving throw from Rikazan and from Uhtred.
What type?
It is a Constitution saving throw.
Dwarves make Constitution saving throws.
So, Uhtred, you're fine. Rikazan, you just happen to have been like mid-breath when this thing explodes, and you catch a mouthful of this haze, and it's got like it's the haze and like flesh, chunk of flesh kind of gets in your mouth a little bit, and you start coughing. You take 3 points of necrotic damage.
A fucking gross. That's disgusting damage.
Gross.
And you're heaving.
Is necrotic
You're
damage
heaving
different than
badly.
regular damage?
So you have now attained a level of contamination.
Sweet.
So that's what the purple with the 1 on it is. If you want to also create, and everybody could do this for me, I'd appreciate it. In your character sheets, right? If you go to where you have your resources, right? Where you have like your lay on hands, your divine sense, action surge, add an additional resource and just call it contamination so that you can track it up to 6. Oh wait, no, never mind. I'd actually said we were going to use the purple. We could also use the purple box in here. No, that was my bad. Forgot that we had that as well. So yeah, you're not feeling too good, and you've got a chunk of like in the words of Hades, I got a hunk of moussaka stuck in my throat. You got a hunk of zombie stuck in the back of your throat.
Fucking awful. It should have bounced off his shield. He's covering his face.
Uhtred, you are up.
Okay, so I've got a dead fucker to the left of me, which is right on your map. Someone who's in front of me and injured. Is that correct?
Yes, extremely injured. In fact, he looks just like the other one did right before it exploded.
Did he stand up on his turn?
The one in front of Uhtred did. The one that was on the ground didn't get a chance to. He just exploded on the ground.
Okay, did they... I'm not sure if you rule it where standing up provokes attack of opportunity or not.
So not for 5e.
Okay.
What standing up from prone does do is it costs you half of your movement.
Okay, that's right. Okay.
Well, an injured zombie can still swing and do as much damage as a non-injured zombie.
I'm gonna burn my reaction. I'm gonna be like, Uhtred, this one. And I'm pointing to the one directly in front of me.
Okay.
Remember, so that's my words. I can hit 2 guys at once, so I can spread my damage out, and I'll finish him off since he's so hurt.
Got it. We've
I mean, you didn't say much. Did you actually have to burn
Do I
your
have to burn my
reaction?
reaction to say this one?
I'll give it to you. It's quick enough.
okay. I'm gonna swing at that one.
Go for it.
I'm not gonna swing well, but I'm gonna swing. At
Surprisingly enough, that is gonna miss. As you really what happened is you were lined up. You had the kill shot ready for the one in front of you, and then Azul says, "No, this one," and you try to adjust mid swing, and you come right up off and hit where the zombie was as opposed to where he was going.
I still do have my reaction. I can cast my spell as a reaction, right?
If you have a reaction spell,
I think I do. I think I can cast Dancing Lights as a reaction. I can double check.
so it'll if you click on it, it'll say there action, bonus action, or reaction. I think Dancing Lights might be an action to cast.
Okay, right. So I can't do it. Okay, fair enough.
So just go ahead. You've still got if you have any other bonus action, or if you want to move, you can move.
No, I'll hang tight.
Okay, go ahead and hit and done. This zombie is going to up here, and he's going to take a bite or slam at Rika. What's your armor class, Rika? That's going to hit. So you're going to take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as this one just starts beating on you as you're busy hacking up this chunk of zombie. You feel the fists hitting you on the side of the head. At first, you thought it was one of your brothers trying to Heimlich you, but it wasn't. Wild, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and part 2, grease the part 2. No, you know what? I'll save my spell slot. These guys got this covered. I'm gonna go ahead and start taking. I'm gonna take a shot at this guy right here.
Okay.
Where is my? Here we go. Kablammy. For a total of 5 damage.
There you go. Anything else you'd like to do? Movement or bonus?
Yes. Is this rubble passable as difficult terrain, or is it not rubble at all?
It would be difficult terrain.
Okay, cool. Does this provide any kind of... I guess cover doesn't really matter because they're not ranged. I'm going to go ahead and line up here and get behind this and just kind of like prepare for my next attack.
Careful not to give them cover against you, though.
Yeah, I've got them lined up. Let me double check.
Yeah, no, you'd be fine.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Go ahead and
And
your turn.
As
As you come stepping up, you fire the first shot. It blasts a chunk of a small hole in the zombie's gut, where you can see that smoke seeping out of it, and then you move over to that bit of rubble for a more advantageous position. Azul, you are up. Go for it.
Alrighty, here we go.
Who are you swinging at?
The one directly in front of me, and the one that's on fire, in the fire, is the one getting that fire.
Okay, go ahead and give me your damage roll.
So this guy takes 9, and the other guy takes 3.
This guy here explodes.
Better not explode in my mouth again.
I'm going to need saving throws from Rikazan, Uhtred, and Azul. Constitution saves.
All
Jesus
right.
Christ.
God damn it, guys.
And Uhtred?
Yeah, I'm getting back to there it is. Core, hitting through Constitution.
Hey, Joe, do I get advantage because I have a closed-faced mask?
Not quite. It gets in your eyes a little bit through the gaps. But
This isn't considered a disease or poison, is it?
it is not considered poison, no.
Okay.
So, Azul, you're going to take 11, but you do not gain any contamination.
Okay.
And Rikazan, you're going to take 2, and you do not gain any contamination.
Alright. As my bonus action, I'm going to hit the one directly in front of me with my hammer.
Okay.
Except I don't.
Really, and that's the only thing you could have rolled to miss.
Yeah, and clearly what it is I was just really fucking distracted thinking about the physics that implied this piece of zombie getting into my mouth.
Well, it's less the zombie getting in your mouth, and more you can see the explosion of concentrated haze that was inside of its body.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm good at inventing gas mask. It's all right. Give me a second.
That's the next thing we do.
If you're good to go ahead and end your turn.
Yep.
Now, having fought zombies before, does Ricka know why they're exploding? It was because of the haze?
You
Is it because they're on
So
fire?
you have fought zombies before, but you have never seen zombies explode like this before. Generally, zombies tend to be tougher, right? And even when you rip off limbs of them, they can keep on fighting. It seems more like these, they're not as resilient as far as being able to withstand ongoing damage. Instead, it seems like once they take significant damage to their body, they can no longer hold the haze within them, and it's creating this burst of fog around them.
Which I'm not sure if I like more or less than the normal zombie bullshit.
I can tell you, I don't appreciate it. I can't face tank explosions.
So this one here is going to attack you, Azul, with a 14.
That will actually hit.
So you're going to... wrong button. You're going to take 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
Jesus.
It's a shame you decided to stand on the opposite side, or not stand on the opposite side of me. I could use protection and negate those attacks, or at least give them
So
disadvantage.
this one here is going to take a swing at Uhtred.
Bring it.
14.
Fuck no. Not the mighty Uhtred.
Be back in
Tommy,
the
could you add your armor and passive perception to your name? No, it's going to miss.
How do I do that? No, doesn't look like I did. How do I do that? Oh, just like change my name?
Yeah.
My AC 16, I don't know how to find passive perception.
Passive perception is your wisdom bonus plus 10.
And if you're really on your character sheet, it should say it right underneath your stats. So where you see your strength, dex, con, all that. Bring it up here. Uhtred, your passive is. Survey says 13.
11. I'll take it. Now I just have to figure out how to change my name, and I'll get right on that.
It's under that gear thingy up there in the top
Right,
right.
nailed it. On it.
There you go. So this one here is going to attack you, Rickon. Oh man, these zombies are on a fucking roll for 2 points of damage. And it is your turn.
I'm gonna have to disengage on my turn, guys. Just as a heads up.
Yeah, it's fine. Using my lay on hands is what?
An
It's
action.
an action.
An action,
Yeah.
reaction?
Paladins suffer from a glut of things that take up their whole turn.
Yeah, apparently. Well, I need to heal, so I'm using all 10 of my points
Okay.
on myself.
So that'll be your action.
Bring me back up to full health.
There you go.
And I'll make note of that. Hold on. Lay on hands. I have 0.
And just go ahead and ping the lay on hands thing so that it appears in the chat box.
Yeah,
Can
you
I
just hit
ping
the
it?
chat bubble dealy in your abilities column.
Ah, right.
There we go. Awesome. Thank you. And if you're done, go ahead and hit that done button.
You got it.
All right, Uhtred, you're up. You can see these zombies over here are wailing on Azul. And your brother looks very badly hurt.
Well, got it. That's funny because I took that as my actual brother, but you meant Israel, my in-game brother.
Well, they both are your in-game brother, too.
That's true. That's true.
There's an excessive brothers in this. Joey is my brother. Joe is your brother. Wyatt is my squire brother, or my shield brother, and then we're all brothers in game.
And then my creator, who is the fourth brother, is my real brother, who is also their brothers.
Right.
That is awesome.
So if I disengage from this fight, do I have an attack of opportunity or no?
If you disengage, you do not draw an attack of opportunity, but to disengage takes your action.
Got it. There's a zombie that goes between me and Azul. but it's not the zombie that is standing next to Azul. So I say, "Oh, Azul, get the fuck behind me, would you?" And I'll swing at the zombie that's to my right.
Okay.
But I'm sort of keeping that flanking bonus. And then
You're attacking this
I'm
dude.
going to attack the asshole that's right in front of him. What does Second Wind do?
Let you heal
Second
yourself.
wind is a bonus action that allows you to regain some HP. It's I think D10 plus your level,
Got it.
or on modifier. I'm not sure which one.
I would need to get hit for that to happen. Somebody hit me, so that's useful. No, don't. Don't want that. Yeah. So I'm just swinging this here maul.
A 7 is just going to miss.
What the fuck?
Like, you go to hit, and you actually swing, and you hit the arm that that Azul already cut off this creature.
I didn't want to cast
Just
that.
go ahead and
I just
add back
wanted
your spell slot, and
read
you're
it.
good.
Yeah. I just wanted to read it for myself.
Yeah,
I didn't want
that's
to
fine.
cast it.
And then question for action surge. It says I have a total of 2, but you should only have 1 at this level, right?
Yeah, you should only have 1. I'm not sure why it's showing 2.
That'd be crazy. I love fighters. Like, I'm playing an artificer in this, but only to play something different because, God, I love playing fighters.
So,
Yeah.
Uhtred, if you are good to go, go ahead and hit that done button.
You got it. Where the fuck? I had to scroll up for it. There it is.
Would compel the duel actually work against zombies?
So
It says creature, but it doesn't say like construct.
you can certainly try.
Fair.
So this zombie here is going to take a swing at you, Rikazan. Man, you are just like a magnet for these fucking zombies.
I'm like sugar to them.
2 points of damage, though.
I don't take much
They're,
damage.
Yeah.
they're hitting you a lot, but they're not hitting you very hard. They hit me a lot and
Yeah.
very hard.
Wild, you are up. Really, what fucked you up was
I
the
felt
one
like
that
I was
exploded
gonna-
right next to you.
Literally,
Yeah.
as I was taking a bite. Okay, who is damaged? This guy's damaged.
Yes, at the moment, this one is hurt, and this one is slightly hurt.
I am
We'll
damaged.
take another pop shot at that boy. Oh, you're
I
damaged?
am damaged.
How damaged are you?
You should whittle down the zombies on.
Right, you, okay, I guess I can't really ask that.
If you look
I-
at the rings around every token, you should be
Uh-huh.
able to see the colors, and that'll let you know how injured they are.
Oh, cool.
I.e., Rurik's
That's
fucked up.
what leads. All right. I'm gonna go ahead.
You'll note that I use my lay on hands to heal
I'm
myself.
gonna go
So
ahead and
Azul
move up
definitely
over
needs.
Azul, and I'm just gonna kind of like I stow my crossbow because I need both hands for cure wounds, and my gloves shine a bright white light, and I'm just gonna kind of like put it into his back, and it begins to like send magical surges through my armor into his armor.
I like it. It's like a defibrillator hands.
Yeah, defibrillator hands exactly. As I
Go
cast
ahead
cure
and
wounds
cast
on
your
him
cure
at
wounds.
first level.
So you're gonna heal 7
for
HP.
7 points.
That's a nice little chunk.
Nice.
And then I will take my rest of my movement to go ahead and move back into position. And do you allow stow draw with movement?
So you only get 1 item interaction. So
Okay, cool.
in your case, you'd have to stow the crossbow and draw out one of your tools, right? And then cast the spell. And the next turn, you can swap back to your crossbow.
Cool. Okay. And that will be my turn.
So I look at him and his defibrillator hands, and I'm like, that's barbaric. And I pull out like a hypo spray out of my own pocket and cure light wounds myself.
There you go.
Shouldn't you disengage?
No, because between what he healed me and what I'm about to heal myself, I can take another round of damage even if they both hit me.
You say that now.
But disengaging will take me out of combat for the entire round. There you go.
Oof.
All right, fair enough.
I'm back to full health.
That'll do the trick. Anything you want to do with your bonus or your movement?
Yeah, I'm gonna hit the guy in front of me with a hammer.
So let me double check, but I believe to get the bonus
That's
action
what I was about to
offhand,
ask you.
you have to do an attack action.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Let me double check, though.
Let me see what else I got for bonus actions. Oh my god, I'm a jack.
During this part of the turn, I'm going to go ahead to the bathroom and take light piss. I'll be right back. It's going to be a half action. I'll use my movement also.
Yeah, if you take the attack action.
Nice.
Okay, sounds good. So what I'm going to do then is, as my bonus action, I will have Archie aid Uhtred on his next attack.
Okay. We'll say right now, I will get... Oh, I got Archie's token. Let me go ahead and have him...
Archie's probably actually sitting in my square, and he can probably assist from my square.
All right. Paste.
Go, Archie.
There you go.
It's your birthday.
All right, if you're... So, I'll have to... We'll just keep it going for right now, and I'll do a little more research on the homunculus. Go ahead and end your turn. He is aided this guy right here.
Yeah, so I can. So the way homunculus works is the only action he can take without me spending the bonus action is dodge. If I spend my bonus action, he can do either one of his own things. I should have had him attack, or he can aid someone else.
Okay.
I should have had him attack. He's gonna aid because that's what I said he's doing.
This one here is going to go ahead and take a swing at you.
Well, he's a dick. That'll hit.
Another 2 points of damage. My zombies are hitting like crazy, but they're not hurting.
Put another
This one
7
here's-
points of emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
Emotional day.
This one here is going to take a swing at Uhtred with an 18.
That'll hit.
Uhtred, you're going to take 6 points of damage.
Can I use my protection to give him a disadvantage?
So-
on it?
You have to say
With-
when he declares the attack, but before you roll.
Yeah. So since that wasn't entirely established and you're just learning the character, I will say we can apply it now. And I will start giving a little bit more hesitation before I roll in case you want to use that ability.
I'm going to throw a slipper for
Gotcha.
emotional damage, as is the way of...
So Uhtred,
Oh, so I have to declare it before the
yeah,
attack
because if you see it, right, it's
Before
not
the roll
exact-
happens. Between him declaring the attack
Yeah.
and the roll.
So
Gotcha.
you see this zombie go to swing at you, Uhtred, and your brother comes out and puts a shield in the way and catches the zombie's fist before it hits you in the face. And that'll burn your reaction. This zombie over here is now going to take advantage and try to slam into you, Rickon. Oh, so close. And you are up, Rickazan. You get your reaction back.
Cool. Let's see.
You have your reaction back as well.
I'm going to swing at the zombie to my side. Because why wouldn't I, right?
Man, that's like the third or fourth 7 you guys have rolled.
Yeah. So as a quick one, I go, move behind me!
Me? I'm almost full
I know.
health. I healed myself.
But still do it, because they'll move in and I can hit them, and you'll also get flanking bonuses.
And you still have movement, Rickazan, so if you want to move, you can move.
But I just can't disengage, right? I would take, what, two attacks of opportunity if I move?
yes. Depending on where you move, really.
That's true. I could move and stay in range of one of them.
And remember, at any time you guys have an enemy where you have an ally on the opposite side of them, you get the +2 to hit from flanking.
Yeah.
That doesn't apply to range attacks, correct?
No, just melee.
And do allies impose disadvantage for being in the way of ranged attacks?
So allies don't give you disadvantage for your range attacks, but they would provide cover as any other intervening model would.
Okay.
Well, I'll fall back 5 feet, and I guess take one attack of opportunity.
Oh my lord. Killing
Of course.
us, bud.
So that's going to be 6 points of damage. Is that one he's You're trying to move away, and he fucking throws out a fist, and he catches you right in the cock.
What the fuck? You cocked him? Sorry,
He
bro.
cock
He
knocked you like
punched
fucking
you.
Mark Hamill in Jay and Silent Bob. Richard,
You
you
punched
up.
him in the dick. I'm gonna beat your dick
Yeah, I'm
off.
swinging the same one because that's really all I got right now.
Okay. That will hit.
Thank fucking God.
It just barely hits for the record, but it hit.
Yeah, oh, I know.
He had advantage, so that's a thing.
Why did he have advantage? Oh yeah, from the aid. You're right. So it hit very well, actually.
I got your back, Tom.
Appreciate that.
Why is it not doing the minuses from all shit? All right, so this is being weird now.
What's it doing?
It's not letting me type in any numbers into anything.
Did you accidentally turn off your
I'm gonna reload a second here. I will do the next zombie's attack and then I'll adjust his HP. So this guy's gonna take a slam at you, Rikazan, as you are still in reach. Son of a gun. For 4. And that's gonna bring you up wild while I reload.
What are you feeding these zombies?
I don't know, they're eating their Wheaties, that's for sure.
Apparently.
They are definitely eating their delirium Wheaties. I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, I'm my select tool. 5, 10, so that I have clear view of this gentleman here.
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and take a little shot at him since I'm out of spell slots.
So if
Shot through the heart.
that's gonna hit for sure.
Blade.
And a huge hit too.
Damage. An enchanted crossbow, something else.
So just in case, if you ever wanted to check if you've got cover or something from any of that, if you change the ruler from snap to center to snap to corner, you can pick any one of your 4 corners, and if you can draw a straight line of sight to all 4 of the enemy's corners, it's a clear shot.
Oh, okay. So give me just a second, because I wanted to double check this anyway.
From there,
So I
have
could
cover.
Yeah, he would have cover. I see. Okay, in that case, I will use the rest of my movement to take my position back behind my little pile of rubble where I am safe.
Perfect.
And I will end my turn.
Azul, you're up.
All right. I'll do it again.
Which one are you hitting?
So I'm gonna hit the farthest west one, the actual attack,
Okay.
and the one directly in front of me is the one catching the fire.
Alrighty.
As we do.
That'll hit. A nice solid hit too. And this one takes 3 damage. You see this one, it's singed, and you can see the skin is starting to get very, very thin, and a lot of this mist is is spewing out of it now.
All right, and then bonus action to hit it with the hammer. This is going to be -4 damage because it doesn't actually have it shouldn't have my strength
Gotcha.
attached. So just 1.
And it looks like it's about to burst. It looks like that water balloon that's got too much water in it. It's got that one spot that's just kind of starting to bulge.
I don't know if I'm happier or less happy.
You have your movement.
You know what? They're about to get to attack me anyway. I'm going to go ahead and take the attack's opportunity. 1, 2,
Okay.
3, 4. And Archie's going to come. Oh, I don't have control over Archie. He's on my shoulder. He comes with me.
I'll set you up now. I'll just move over for you. So both attacks of opportunity miss. They go wide.
It's awesome. Essentially, I hit him, and duck out.
Bobbing and weaving. Zombies are just moving towards the closest edible thing. And attacking.
Chomp.
That will miss. The next zombie next to him. 13, I believe, misses as well.
Indeed.
And then zombie number 3 is going to step up to here. And
Does he have to walk through the grease, and does that cause him dexterity?
no, he doesn't have to walk through the grease.
Just checking.
So the question is, can he?
So this is going to go at Uhtred as well. Damn it. I can't hit Uhtred to save my freaking life. Rikazan, you're up.
Without crippling tonight, I'm over.
Wait. So, do I have a flanking bonus where I am?
No,
with
you'd
the
have
other
to
zombie
be
now, or
to
no?
flank this one. You'd have to be on this side.
Essentially, you have to be able to draw a line
And to
through
flank the
them
one.
to your ally.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So basically, Uhtred is being flanked
Yes.
currently.
So we need to kill one of those guys.
I mean, it's a good thing you healed to full and then.
I healed the full
yeah,
and then got hit, and then left. And
I
Uhtred
know.
was already at full.
All right, so I guess this one right here.
The one right in front of you?
Remember
Okay.
the one
Yeah.
next to it is more damaged.
We give him the old.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ones that are hurt right now, this guy's at orange, this guy's at yellow,
Okay.
and this guy's at red.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna crack the guy in yellow, so
All right,
feel
so
free to hit the guy in orange, bro.
All right. So I'll hit orange then.
That's a hit.
Before you say anything, I'm gonna smite him
Save it. He's dead.
because save it. Okay.
Save it.
Fair.
But what I will need from you is a Constitution save.
God
These
damn.
fucking exploding
I don't
sons of
wanna.
bitches.
You're good.
There. Woo. I learned to recognize when I'm about to explode. I turned my head at the last second, or I got my shield up at the last second.
Can we use our bonus action to cover our face after we crack one? I'm entirely serious. Like, why not? We know they're exploding now. Can it just be like a thing and fucking...
I'm pretty sure that it's more of like the gas.
Oh,
coming
for
out of
sure.
the area. Yeah.
But I'm still asking.
Not quite on this one. Not quite. The gas is too potent, and it really gets in the nose, the eyes, all that kind of fun stuff.
It's like fucking undead fart. plus
Exactly. Rika, anything you want to do with your bonus?
As a bonus, I can't use my shield to like push somebody.
No,
can
there is a feat that you can take called Shield Master that would let you do just that.
Which I strongly suggest when you hit level 4.
I? And I can't punch or slap or anything on my
No.
shield, right?
Definitely go Shield Master,
Yeah.
because that will let you do all of those things.
Yeah, Shield Master's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Shield Master and Sentinel for tanking.
Disgusting.
So if you're good to go, you can go ahead and just hit done,
Hold up.
and then I'll bring up Uhtred.
I'm not
He's
sure.
trying to see if he's got a bonus action.
If I use shield to face, I can use it, but then I have to concentrate to keep it up if I get
Correct.
whacked, right?
So who do you want to cast it on?
I'll cast it on Uhtred.
Okay, Uhtred, so that gives you a +2 to your armor.
Love it.
I'm going to just use this yellow dot for right now with a number 2 on it.
In retrospect, I should have taken Shield of
Cool.
Faith with Rattle Can.
There you go, Uhtred, you are up.
Oh, I
Who are
know.
you hitting?
Got him in left.
Yellow or red?
Yellow.
For retrospect, you shouldn't
I
have fucked the
said-
rattle
Yeah.
can, bro. He's a beast.
Don't fuck with Rattle Can.
Sorry, which one were you hitting?
Nah, bro.
Yellow. I declared I was going to hit yellow on my brother's turn.
You smack them, and you see both of those are looking incredibly injured at the moment.
Sweet.
Anything else you'd like to do?
Moving out of combat would mean too many attacks of opportunity. So
Yeah,
that-
from where you're at, you'd be drawing. Well, it depends on where you move. You would be drawing multiples.
if I took one step back, I'd only attract one, right? Just the
Correct.
furthest from me?
Yeah, because you still be in range of the other two.
Well, then I remove the advantage, so that's worth it. Fuck it.
Well, we don't have advantage.
I'm
currently, me and
removing
you.
their
You're
advantage.
currently flanked.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If I take one step back, I'm no longer flanked.
Correct.
Yeah. So I would
Yep.
definitely
So
take a
I'll
step back.
risk one attack for that. Why not?
And it misses.
Oh, you can't touch this. Greatest dwarfin warrior that's ever fucking lived.
I'm picturing the Shield of Faith. It gives you a little bit more of a dwarvish kind of a visage as it's calling in the ancestors. Anything else you'd like to do, Uhtred?
I'm good. Done.
And that's going to bring up you, Wild.
All right. Now put
Pop one of those
right
balloons
here.
on the end, bro.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say you should pop one of those
Well, we're not
zombie
standing
balloons. I
next
don't
to
think we
it.
take.
Oh, actually,
Yeah.
That's not a bad plan. I would like to take that back. I'm not gonna move.
I go shoot this fucker,
I'm gonna move.
or just
But-
this fucker. If you only need 2 words from me.
There you go.
Is this causing? Can I shoot through this pile of rubble here?
Yeah, it's not going to cause two. It's not going to give cover.
Okay, let me double check that I am
This
not.
corner here. He would have cover though from the guy in front.
But if I moved here,
From there,
I still have-
snap to corner, far corner. Yeah, he's still getting cover. You'd have to be.
yeah, I
shoot the other
I'm
one.
Further
seeing-
down.
Yeah, just shoot the one in front.
Yeah, they don't have a whole lot of armor
I'm trying to
either.
shoot the one that is far away
Which
from
we
both of
appreciate
them.
because then no one has to take the save.
Right. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna take the movement to move up into here, and that should get rid of that cover. And if not, I'll move one more, and that'll be the last of my
Yeah,
movement. So up in.
From there, you're good. From there, you
Okay.
completely ignore the intervening guy.
And just remember, I'm not made of flesh. Which I don't think it matters to them at this point. But I'm gonna go ahead and take.
That's
I mean-
interesting. They might not give a shit to bite you.
That's going to be a hit.
And he's taking 6 damage.
Which one are you
as I
hitting?
pop
The bottom one or
the
top one?
red one, the bottom one. Hopefully,
The
kill
bottom
him.
bitch.
Explodes. You see the cloud erupt around him.
And I don't have any movement left, so I'm gonna stand here and look pretty for that zombie.
All right, so for 2 questions, right? The explosion, does it actually do real damage, or is it like the gas that does
Is the
damage?
gas that's doing necrotic damage.
Okay, so it's not like an explosion; it's just
Yeah.
a fart.
It's a nasty fart.
Gotcha. Second, would since he's already corrupted by delirium, would Wild even care if he got caught in that
You guys
fart?
don't know. You guys have never seen what would
Alright.
happen to a warforged that's exposed to uncontained or uncontrolled delirium. Anything else you would like to do, Wild? If not, go ahead and hit your done.
Oh, Wyatt, you're muted. Somehow you became muted.
Yes, I'm done.
All right. Go ahead and just done yourself. Azul, you are up.
I'm gonna move to here, and then I'm going to firebolt the guy directly in front of me.
Okay. That's a direct hit, but not quite a powerful enough of a hit.
And then I'm gonna use my bonus action to have Archie shoot a little bolt of force out of its mouth.
What's the specs on it?
It's just a D4 range attack.
Range?
Range 30 feet.
Okay. That's going to hit.
Hey! Hold on.
What
Let me
damage?
see if he does any bonuses. D4 plus proficiency bonus. That's gonna be 3 total damage.
You know, so you hit him with the first bolt, and then, what is it that you're calling him again?
Archie.
Archie comes around and bubs him with a little thing, and he pops. I need a con save from Uhtred. Uhtred has
Already
been
rolled that.
untouched. He has been in the middle of all of this gas,
I'm
and
at
he
a
just
plus
doesn't
5
give a shit.
I'm intentionally, and I know what this game would be. I'm at a +5 Constitution. That is the reason why I keep passing. I'm not fucking around.
I'm at a +6 and I still failed. So,
Well,
what you kicking
Fuck
ass?
for you. I don't want to wake up as a fucking clam.
That's a
So, Azul,
clam.
anything else you'd like to do?
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna spend some movement now. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Alrighty.
Getting myself ready for next round to continue my zombie slaying
If you-
bullshit.
If you're done, go ahead and hit that dunner.
Sorry, I always forget that you have that in this game.
I'm gonna be creating a button for you guys at the top, so all you'd have to do is click your token and find it. It'll be a lot easier. Still working on some APIs though.
I'll be honest, it's not that hard to do. It's just we keep fucking forgetting.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's just like, yeah.
It's not. It's the button's blatant unless you happen to click L and then something
Yeah.
else. It's
So,
not hard. It's just
I-
hard to remember.
I have it even worse than you guys because I've actually played a game with Joey before and this stupid done button, and I still fucking forget.
Don't
No, the
insult
button's
the button.
fucking
The button's
sweet.
not
The
done
button
for
didn't
you.
blow up
Archie
in your
back on your
face.
shoulder
Yeah,
because
where?
he wasn't in range for that attack.
Alright,
He was.
So this
I
zombie
can't-
here's gonna
I
take
still-
a
I still
swing at
can't move,
Uhtred.
Archie.
Misses. That's gonna bring you up, Rikazan.
Uhtred is fucking untouchable.
I can shove as an action, right?
You could
As
shove
an attack action, I can shove.
as opposed to doing an attack. You could shove as so you take the attack action and replace one of your attacks with the shove.
Mhm.
So you could totally do that. It would be an opposed.
And I would shove him into the fire, right?
It would be an opposed athletics check.
So I have to make an athletics roll.
And you'd have to beat his athletics.
Oh, he's a zombie. I can't imagine he has very high athletics. Sure, I'll try and shove him into the
All right.
fire.
And
Hopefully whatever fucking fire, grease, and his zombie brethren. So I'm hoping he falls and goes prone when he gets.
Give me
into
that
it.
roll. Oof.
Wow,
You
that's
send him into the flames. Go ahead and roll me.
Oh, fuck out of
Into
here!
the grease,
Fuck outta
causing
here,
him to
gobshite.
make a dexterity saving throw.
Go ahead and roll me that d6 for the fire, and he's not fully
boy
combusted, but he is in the fire taking damage. So he's just not perma-flamed.
does he
fall
fall prone?
No.
Yeah, I have a DC.
Oh wait,
13.
it still has the grease there technically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure if there's bone bits and stuff.
Yeah. So you see, he falls into the fire, lands flat on his ass, and I'm gonna say that because of the grease and him landing on the fire, I'm gonna negate that first one that I did, and he's now in flames.
Fuck you!
Oh, fuck out of here, gobshite! Spit on him.
All right.
That's good dwarves.
Anything else you'd like to do, Rika?
I believe that is the end of my turn. There's not much I could do else.
Uhtred goes, fuck this!
click.
And he just drops his hammer, pulls his crossbow, which I loaded earlier, and fucking fires into the fire. Because the last thing I want is to have this thing explode on me. I'm just
Go
going
for
to
it.
fry it with a fucking crossbow.
That's gonna just barely hit.
Well, actually, and I don't want to point this out, but I think it's good for players to check each other. He would have disadvantage because he is prone.
You are right. Thank you for reminding me for that. So it does end up being another 7 for you, Uhtred.
And that does make me the teacher's pet, which means you guys can shit talk me after this.
Wait, I thought disadvantage means that you roll twice to take the lower. Oh, because the 7's on the other side.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I'm
Sorry. But it is absolutely right. The prone does provide, and it says it right in the box right above it.
I appreciate you, Wyatt.
I appreciate you.
Just not right now.
But it's not at the
Exactly,
moment.
Just not
Yeah.
right now.
Anything else you'd like to do, though, Uhtred? You still have your bonus.
Can I well, I don't really have anything to do with the bonus yet. Can I just walk over and put my foot on his chest so I can't get off?
You can't, but then you're in explosion range again.
I'm going to be exposure range anyway. At least I'll be the only one in exposure range.
No. We got
So,
all of us
what
go
you-
next.
For what you'd need to do for that is you would have had to have grappled him, which you could have done, but a grapple takes your action.
I'm not grappling this motherfucker. No, I'll just end my turn. We're done. Done here. Click's done.
Wild, you are up.
All right. So I've seen DMs rule this strangely before. Technically, I would disadvantage if I'm at range, but if I walk up right on him and I point my crossbow down at him, I would have advantage.
Could it
So
go?
it would negate the 5-foot disadvantage, right?
Correct. You could do
Okay.
a straight shot from point blank range.
Now, while sounds cool, I'm not gonna do that.
Are you sure you
I
don't want
wanna
to be
in
right
that
next to him when he
range.
dies?
You don't want a coup de grace exploding
Not,
zombie?
not even a little bit. I'm just gonna take the disadvantage shot from range
Go for it.
Are you
That's
sure?
a hit.
for 12, dealing 6
Fine.
damage.
He is badly hurt.
Nice.
Anything else you'd like to do, Wild?
You should spit on him like I did. Yeah, it's lethargic.
Pause.
Lethargic.
I
What?
just said pause.
All right, so I step to here, and he's getting firebolted.
That'll hit. Even with the
He's already on fire.
disadvantage. For
Jesus,
4.
I'm rolling like ass. And then Archie's also gonna fucking. But he's also got this.
Roll another one.
Yeah, you got it. Archie doesn't fucking
Archie's
care.
on,
Archie's like, I got
Archie's
this.
on the ball.
So Archie hits him for 5.
5. That zombie is in horrible, horrible shape. So, Rika, since you were the one that pushed him in, roll the fire damage on him.
All right.
He's still standing.
Well, he's laying down. But he's
Well, yeah.
Well, he has to stand up,
So
yeah.
now he
But he's
stands
not
up,
alive.
and he's going to
dexterity
shamble
saving
forward
throw.
in his
As he
burning
stands up.
state. And he's going to take a hit at you, Rika, since you're the one that's got his attention.
He's an asshole. That's why.
I'm pretty sure he has to make another dexterity saving throw being inside of it.
Can you ping Grease for me a second?
Ends its turn. Never mind.
Yeah. I think it's web is the start turn.
Right.
Make sure you bring back your... oh, no, you already had burned your slots. Rika, you are up.
Push him again. It worked
All right.
really well.
I try like fuck out of here.
Rika, give me... Oh, sorry, wrong button. Rika, give me a dexterity save. As you try grabbing onto him to push him back, and he's grabbing you.
I use a hero point.
He's a hero point. Wrong game.
You're gonna take 5 points of burning damage as this flaming creature is trying to grab onto you. You don't manage to push him back. You just take a little bit of burn damage.
I would like to burn my reaction to say you should back up at this point.
Shit, Uhtred, the concentration just failed until the Shield of Faith falls off.
Yep.
That sucks.
I don't need it.
You-
Fine. Don't back up and get hit, though. That's bad.
Well, I mean, I don't think he's gonna hit me for 8 points, but he might explode and do more than 8
Yeah,
points.
that's my thought process.
Fair enough.
You do you, Rika. What would you
Alright,
like
so-
to do? You've got your bonus and your movement still.
Wrecked.
I don't think I have any more spells. I can't do that.
I mean, you.
Get the fuck out of dodge. Hit him and get the... Oh, you already tried to push him, so yeah. Just get the fuck out of dodge.
Yeah, I might as well just move away. Fuck
Okay.
it.
So he'll go ahead and take
Push
his
him the wrong way.
attack of opportunity and misses.
Good. Fuck that guy.
So that's gonna. If you're done, Rikazan, that'll bring up Uhtred.
Yep, I just gotta scroll up.
I yell, I'm gonna kill you on behalf of my people, the dwarven kind! And I will shove this motherfucker directly into the fire.
Okay, go for it.
Yo!
you fucking Spartan kick him straight into it.
Hubba!
This is
Drakkanheim.
The Mountain Strata clan! Fucking kick this motherfucker. So I was like,
Give me a d6 for the fire damage, and he will do his. He's definitely back on the ground from the grease. And actually, no, he just burns right there. And since you managed to kick him into the fire and he dies from the fire,
he doesn't explode on me.
he doesn't. He explodes, just not on you.
Right.
All right, come around, guys.
So you guys have. You guys are looking at some of these. What? I mean, because you guys have dealt with zombies and things like that in the past. This was not what you guys have experienced before. And it starts to make you guys wonder about what really are you getting yourselves into?
While I'm pondering, I walk over to Rika and I hyper spray him.
Nice.
I take my maul like it's a croquet hammer and I just start pushing the zombie bodies into the fire because I want no parts of any of this shit. Like, get the fuck out of here, and you can get the fuck out of here.
Taking the opportunity while we're kind of cleaning up and healing, I would like to do just kind of like a survey at these ruined buildings and see if there's anything of value or use inside of them.
Give me a perception check.
Can I use investigation?
Rika,
Investigation will work.
you heal 8. How are you doing for health after that?
I'm not quite at full health, but yeah, I'm
Okay.
a lot better.
I'm still at full health.
I'm not sure we're allowed to,
No,
to
just
divulge
a
the
rough
numbers and all
idea.
that stuff.
Take another 7 healing.
Oh, you got the salve.
I did get the
Who
salve.
told you to put the bomb on?
The salve is the
Oh, yeah, I pat you on the shoulder. I'm like, thank you, brother. But that'll be enough for now.
So, Wild, you start looking around, and there we're going to take our first little break. Or I know we went longer than I would have liked for the first break, but we were in the middle of the fight. So we'll just take a quick little 10-minute. We'll be back at 9:25 to kind of wrap up the session.
sounds good.
Sounds good. I'll
All right, see you guys in 10 minutes.
Oh, damn it. Sure.
I totally forgot my battle music and sound effects, and I had a soundtrack set specifically for a zombie battle. This makes me sad.
Mhm.
So
Play it anyways. Fuck it.
Joe turned
I
on
wanna
Trying
hear
to
it.
trying to incorporate audio is a new one for me, but I want to try to get it in there because it adds another layer to it. It really does.
Play it now.
Where is our...
So, those zombies, still, even though they're not the standard zombies, I think probably too low for their actual CR, because that was some shit.
I think you guys were rolling really, really poorly. that kind of made it a little bit trickier.
Or
Yeah, adjust your audio if it's too loud.
That was shocking.
Audio makes the difference, man.
I do think that we work pretty well as a team. I definitely need better armor.
we worked better as a team than I thought we would.
I mean, technically, you guys are all at full health.
More or less, I'm 2 hit points down.
Yeah, I still got
And
3
yes,
salvies.
I never got touched.
I'm missing 2 hit points at this point.
I am also missing 2 hit points, which I think is pretty funny. But
And
that's
yes.
Going home, Uhtred is probably obnoxious. Of like, you see what I'll do with that, was it?
And to answer your question, yes, my camera is off. I like to walk around in my underwear. It's not something you folks need to say. So.
let me know when you turn it back on because I actually had to turn it off because it was fucking up with the entire screen.
Fair.
Overall, though, I think that was a fairly good fight.
The one thing I will say is from now on, let me be the center, and you guys take up my left and right flanks, only because I can use my protection within 5 feet.
That's on me.
Right.
I always have that shit, and I didn't realize that you had it. Otherwise, I would have known better.
I'm going to have it to 4th level when I take Sentinel, then I'm switching over to defense for my fighting style.
Yeah, bro, I am sorry that I got you fucking crit. I
It's all
wanted them to
good.
move into that space so this way I could hit things that
Yeah.
were bad. I didn't expect
I
it to
think you guys
fucking
did good.
you. I was like, that is the worst case scenario.
I was perturbed that it happened, but I wasn't mad at you. I was just like, fuck.
Yeah. I mean,
Those zombies were rolling hot as hell
Yeah, they
because
were.
they don't get almost anything for their attack roll. They're +3,
They were rolling
and I was rolling
22s.
20s left and right
Hey.
to hit Rikazan.
I'm gonna let you know. You know who's the fucking MVP? Archie.
fucking Archie.
Archie got Tom a hit and killed 2 fucking zombies.
That's a third of the zombies that were on the field.
I mean, I can't complain. I was rolling like shit to hit things.
Fucking the MVP is our
That was
ability
the
to
other
heal.
crazy one. Like, you
Yeah.
guys rolled 7 at least 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
The real MVP in this whole battle was our ability to heal each other.
Dude, and that's the thing that I was most worried we didn't have good healing. But I think we're actually not too terrible on that.
Yeah. The only person who can't heal someone is me, but I can heal myself, which is important.
To be clear, the healing salve that I used, I can give to you guys to heal other people as needed also. It doesn't need to be from me. Archie can also heal people who are far from me. I can channel my healing spells through Archie.
Nice.
What the fuck is Archie, by the way? I had no idea this thing existed until we got into combat.
So, Joe, can you make me a handout so that I can share with the whole world what Archie looks
Yes,
like?
I can. Give me a second, and
Alright.
I will actually
My camera's back on, by
add
the way.
his art.
So as an artificer, Tom, I get the ability to create a homunculus, which is like a little. Well, I mean, you know what a homunculus is, but
Yeah.
in this case specifically, it is a clockwork creature that is essentially my little helper. And Archie is Azul's homunculus, and what he is he's a small quadrupedal dragon.
Nice.
Wild.
And
I'm making it so just you guys can see it.
okay. I know that makes it a little bit longer. He's a small quadrupedal dragon, and for the most part, he just like hovers over my head, like flying around, or he lands on my shoulder. But he can aid you guys with actions. He can do perception checks. He can cast spells through him. He can use my healing salve, but he can also spit like
Can spit hot fire.
Hot fire.
hot fire. He spits little bolts
Nice.
of like little electrical bolts, and that's Archie. I think he's fucking adorable.
It's pretty cool.
Nice.
One of you guys noticed is
Is it
you
key to
see the
wind
shirt,
them?
right?
Yeah.
T&D shirt.
Yeah, love it. So yeah, I think Archie's adorable. In next level, I will have oh shit, what did I call him, Joe? Raider.
Curious, did you? Because I just remembered something from the homunculus. Do you have, or did you invest in a?
So the gem, I completely forgot about it.
So what we're gonna say is, What we'll say is you inserted the you had Archie built, right? Just before the fight, Wild gave you one of the delirium shards, which are worth 100 gold pieces, and you inserted it into Archie as a power core.
So Archie's also delirium powered? I'm fine with that.
Well, for now, you can take it out, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you could.
I mean, if you don't
But
want
just so
to,
you guys can track that you have one less core, because the core's in Archie.
Gotcha.
Or not core, it was a fragment.
Can we remove it and get the core fragment back?
Absolutely. But just if you remove it, Archie powers down.
Gotcha. I was saying, unless we want the bronze dragon to turn into a black dragon over time, I would remove it.
We can remove it.
Alright, so we are back, guys.
We'll sell it, and then I'll buy a gemstone with it.
Right.
Alrighty.
I forget,
So,
as far as corruption goes, does that bleed off over time? The one level I have?
no,
Oh,
it actually gets worse over time.
Well, I'm saying, like, if we stay in the haze, it gets worse. But if we go back to Emberwood, will it eventually drop off or no?
It will get worse.
Fair.
it gets
So
worse
you
no matter
will
what.
need to speak to somebody, likely during your downtime, to see if somebody can tend to your corruption. Left unattended, corruption will only get worse and worse and worse.
Fair.
It takes, so you guys can understand, if you have even one rank of corruption at the end of every day, right, or really after you take a long rest, you'll roll a d20. On a 1, the corruption gets worse and you gain another level of corruption. On a 2 through 19, nothing happens.
Oh.
And on a 20?
So it can get worse.
What happens on a 20?
Over time. But it is a low percentage of that.
You said a 2 through 19. What happens on a 20?
Nothing. You just don't get any worse.
So
The only way to really cure it, you guys don't know. You haven't spoken to anybody who's been here from that kind of
To be fair, we didn't really know corruption was a thing before we went into the
that is
city.
fair.
So
That is fair. We are
this,
learning.
this is a thing. So are we back, brother?
Yeah, we're back. They've been hearing our table chatter and whatnot.
All right, awesome. Thank you guys for being back after the break. I hope you enjoyed watching our 4 brothers fight for their lives with exploding zombies.
Before we go back into the whole thing, I am going to go ahead and say something. We are a Hero Forge affiliate, so if you're looking for a way to support the channel but also get really awesome figures, if you use our Hero Forge link, that's a great way to do it. You get Hero Forge figures, and we get a cut of whatever you buy. Hero Forge is awesome. I don't know if you guys have ever used it. I finally used it for the first time, and I am thrilled.
That's badass.
Yeah.
Another good way to support the channel is our Patreon. On our Patreon, you get access to exclusive maps designed by us, used in our campaigns, or just whatever randomly occurs to me. And those are the best ways to support us directly. All right, Joe, where are we headed next?
I love it. Support. I know I will be getting all of my future Hero Forge models with you guys to help support the channel, as I know I'll be getting some. Hero Forge is great.
Dude, years I've been following them. And I was like, I can't really afford it. And for my birthday this year, I asked Wyatt to run a D&D game for me, and Gabby bought us figures.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, that's
which
sweet.
I still owe you a D&D game.
All right, so what's up? Where are we headed to now?
So you guys have just finished cleaning up these zombies. You've managed to collect a few pieces of delirium, and you're catching your breath.
I did, before the break, roll that 21 for investigation to search the nearby houses.
So when you're searching the nearby houses, you're looking around, and for the most part, it looks like this part, especially so close to Emberwood Village, has been pretty well picked clean.
Yeah.
But you're kind of looking around, and down the block a little bit, you swear you see a light. in a window.
Don't go into it!
I'm gonna go ahead and go. Query. There is a light down at the end of this block. Shall we investigate?
So something that I will remind you guys of, right, of your current state, right, and I'm going to bring you guys to the big map. At the moment, you are a mile and a half in, right, which means you got to go a mile and a half back out.
Yep.
Would just down the block change that time frame a little bit?
It's not so much about the time frame, right, for just down the block. It's more around the a big part of this Drakkanheim campaign is making it out alive just as much as it is making it in.
So my concern more than in-game time is that Joe was real clear that we have until the end of our session to get back out of Drakkanheim, and if we don't do it, we go back ugly.
Yep.
Okay, then in that case, we shall
Leave, yes.
leave. Yeah.
You guys could, as far as what I'm saying, you guys could take a look at the light if you want. Just be aware of, one, the time to be able to get back to safety, and two, if you were to get into another fight, you may be able to survive that fight, but getting out of the city, there could be random encounters.
Right. So I will go ahead and we have this map, right? We have a copy of
Yes.
this map. All right. Then I'm going to go ahead and mark which house it is on the map.
I will go ahead so that the other groups do not see what it is you guys have seen. Right. I'm going to go ahead and remove this red circle. And if you guys want to take a screenshot, I will show you exactly where that red house, that house with the light is, in case you want to investigate it. Your next foray into the city.
Love it.
I think that's a good plan.
Bam, right there.
We're not on
Can
the
Archie
map.
communicate? If Archie flies over to the window, can he come back and tell you what he saw?
That was gonna be my suggestion, to send Archie over there on stealth.
Also,
You could
while I
certainly try.
haven't ordered it or anything yet, if you look in the Four Brothers out of character chat, you'll see Rickerson in Hero Forge.
So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna send Archie to get within, let's say, 100 feet, stealthily.
So go ahead and give me a stealth roll for Archie. How high up is he flying?
Let's say he's flying about 60 feet up.
Okay, so he's about 60 feet up, trying to get within 100 feet of the light.
Yeah, of the building,
Okay.
right?
Of the build, where the light's coming from. So, all right. And then now, that was his stealth roll?
Yep.
And go ahead and give me a perception roll for him. And I'll set you up with a full character sheet by the end of today for him.
Nada. So
So,
his orders, so that you understand, his orders was to go over there, take a look, and then come back. He's obviously going to go see fucking not a thing, but he's still supposed to come back.
okay. So he flies up, he looks around, and he comes back and he just looks like a light.
All right, that's fine. I'll get him binoculars next time. Let's head out of town.
Okay, so are you guys at what you're about a mile and a half in. How would you like to get out? Are you going to go quickly, normal pace, or slowly and
I'll
stealthily?
say normal pace. We need to know
Yeah,
if
normal
it's gonna
pace.
fucking jump at us so we can avoid it.
Yeah,
Okay, so go ahead and give me. Everybody, just roll me a d20.
Anyone disagree with that before? Well, someone already.
No. Can we have Archie fly above us and set off some sort of alarm if we're being chased or someone's?
Yeah, have Archie fly about 30 feet above us and about 10, 20 feet ahead of us.
Okay. All right, so that
Archie can be AWACS.
Essentially, yeah.
you guys start making your way back. You've been traveling now for probably about 4 or 5 hours, no more actually. You guys have been out and about for quite a bit, but you're getting your way back towards the outskirts of town.
Yeah, it's probably
Go ahead and give me. What was that?
It's probably starting to the sun is getting low, big guy.
Yeah, so if you think about it, you did 2 hours to get to the edge of town from Emberwood Village, 3 hours of actually moving into the city. Fortunately, you found your delirium weirdstone on your first hour of hunting, so that was 6 hours there. And now you're an hour back. So far, it's been 7 hours since you guys first left town.
Oh, that means it's probably still light out. No, because we probably left at like 8 in the morning or whatever.
It is still light. Well, quote unquote light out.
Right. As light as it ever gets in this area.
I'm so sorry. There was one other thing I wanted to ask. I don't know if we can retcon. Those undead bodies, did we burn them all?
Yes.
Yeah, we pushed them.
Yeah.
Uhtred actually pushed them all into the grease.
Okay, cool. Never mind then. I was going to say I could use my harvester's tools on that. I completely forgot, but never mind.
I pushed them in with my maul like a croquet hammer, just like, get the fuck out of
Yeah.
the world.
Okay.
You said another D20 roll, Joe?
As you guys are continuing your way out, yes, indeed. So was that Tommy?
Might have been.
Okay, so Tommy,
What's up, dude?
thank you, by the way.
He says as he opens the big book of fuck.
Yep.
Don't forget, we got AWAC support above us.
Tommy, if you
Please.
could.
We also get advantage on perception in general.
Yeah. So it'll essentially it'll make it harder for things to sneak up on you as far as like surprise and stuff like that.
But I stepped on a landmine.
Could I get where is it?
Don't give him ideas.
No, he's going into a book. He knows what's happened here.
Okay, so roll me a D100 if you please.
Oh no.
Oh baby, 14.
Okay.
He goes, okay, you can cheer for that.
Well,
I was gonna go boom baby, whatever number popped up. I have no idea what just happened.
Everybody, what is your... Oh, I got your passive perceptions there. 13, 13, 9, 10. Because you guys are going at the normal pace, you get advantage, which essentially adds 5 to your passive perception.
Yeah, I got an 18 PP.
what's Archibald's PP?
Archie is at 14 naturally.
So Archie is a 14 PP.
So I've got the biggest PP.
No, Archie has the biggest PP.
Archie has the biggest PP.
But did that include his +5?
No, it did not.
So he.
All right, fair enough.
So they have 19 PP.
As you guys are starting to make your way, can you roll me 2d6?
Me?
Yes. This is all you, Tommy.
Archie's PP is so big that's not actually his tail.
6 motherfuckers!
So you're making your way, and
Making your way down.
let me roll there.
I look on the ground in front of me and I see 2d6 presents that I will pick up and enjoy for the rest of my life.
You're right.
You guys are walking, right? Keeping your eyes open, and up ahead, you see something as far as like the rocks crumble and shift off to the side, and you can hear, it almost sounds like claws on stone running around the corner. Like if something's trying to take cover.
Interesting.
So basically, whatever is native to Drakkanheim, if it's trying to hide, we probably should get the fuck out of Dodge.
You definitely hear them, and it's in front of where you guys are currently heading.
So
Oh, I think something just tried to kill us but failed. Because the GM rolled a 5 not to meta game.
Joey doesn't.
Could you
know
roll a
about your
perception roll
metagame
to
hat.
like get more an ideation as to what the fuck's going on?
It's where you heard the sound, right? Was probably about 50 or 60 feet ahead of where you guys are at. So it's a good distance away with
60
your
feet,
passive
you say, huh?
perceptions and as
Hey
poorly as I
brother,
roll.
do you mind go ahead and using your detect evil sense
Yeah. I was gonna say 60 feet, huh? I used the Defiance.
So you don't sense any the. Can you clink it for me? So it is fiends, celestials, or you don't sense any fiend, celestial, or undead.
All right.
I call out.
Should-
I call out to Archie. Do you see anything?
Uh, you see Archie. He's kind of swirling around up top. He doesn't have telepathic communication with you, right?
No, but yes, he can talk.
Okay. So he says,
Feel free to give Archie whatever personality you want. The last time Tom gave me an Antonio Banderas sounding horse.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to come up with something now. I'm going to have to come up with something now.
Archie.
Please.
I see a few villains ahead.
So please not that.
So Archie's flying around. He says, "Wait, I think I do see something." Just and he's speaking rather loudly so that you can hear him because he's about 30 feet up.
Right.
Yeah.
I do see something. It just moved into that building. Do you want me to go and check it out?
Let me remember what.
Don't get eaten.
Go
but
get him,
yeah.
Archie.
Let me remember what Archie's fucking stats are.
Uhtred says, "Oi, is there any reason we can't just make a left instead of going forward?"
I go with. I'm like, no, Archie, I do not want you to go in there. Fucking Archie has a total of 6 hit points.
This is a city. We don't have to go that way. Let's just fucking go this way.
Yeah, let's just avoid that. And keep
We
going.
got the delirious stones. All right, we can pay off the lady who thinks she's a lantern, but she's really a fucking elf. And let's just get the fuck out of this city, eh?
Yeah, I'm in favor of continuing on our happy way.
Sounds good.
All right.
Oi!
So
Oi! We're gonna go this way. Fuck off.
so if you guys are going to try to give this a wide berth, what I'm going to ask first is a group stealth check.
Ooh.
I just yelled, "We're gonna go this way. Fuck off!" And you want to stealth roll? Sure.
Yeah, I guess that's true. So yeah, never mind. You guys auto fail the stealth check. You're absolutely right.
You know
So
what? I said we were gonna go left.
Hey, remember that time we tried to get out of the city?
Just out of curiosity.
No. Here's what's gonna happen. I said we're gonna go left, and Azul's like, "Yo, let's go right." So we're gonna roll our stealth check to go the different direction.
No.
there you go.
We're not that party. Everyone's wearing heavy armor. Nobody put pointed stealth.
The fuck I didn't. I'm a drow, bitch. I can stealth.
Yeah, next level I'm also going to be able to stealth in my scale mill.
So we're just like, yep, fuck off. We're going this way. If you don't want to die, don't follow. And we just start walking.
Don't start nothing. There won't be nothing.
Okay, so you guys start making your way. To avoid this path, it would take you a wide berth, and it'll probably add another check for you guys trying to make through the city. So it's going to add a little bit of time for you.
I don't think we need to give it that wide a berth. I think we're just gonna go like one block over.
Yeah, one or two quote unquote blocks. I think is what's good for us.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Well, so here's the idea that I have is like we probably met this at like a crossroads here and here, right? Which means we would have to like take this road to the left, then go down and around. There's not really blocks in our route out.
But we can go like through the alleys between two houses.
Oh, that's fair, yeah.
Yeah, we're just gonna give it like a. Archie said it's in a house.
It looks like what he had noticed. It had jumped into the house.
Yeah, so essentially we're going to from the other side of the street, like cross in front of that house with our eyes on it.
Okay. Can I get regular perception checks from everybody?
Do I include Archie?
So what I'll say is you can roll for either yourself or for Archie.
Izzy, what's the persuasion rolls, man?
I didn't. Did
Someone
I?
persuasion rolled?
That was Joe this time.
Oh, okay.
Was it? Oh.
Archie did not do great.
Okay. So, you guys are making your way out, and Joe, your stealth is, your perception is -1.
Mhm.
So your roll was actually a 12.
11, I guess. There's a 10.
Okay, so
You're going from +3 to a -1 from 16. That puts you to 12. I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
because if you hover over it, it shows that he rolled a 13 naturally.
Yes, these are 12.
So with a -1 to be 12.
So why did it come up as a 10?
You guys are followed. You guys are continuing to be followed.
Are you
You can
aware
hear
they're being
the
followed?
skittering. It's mostly behind you now, but they are following you.
Okay. Do we get a better look at it as we continue to be followed?
Now with those rolls.
You had a 10 for
Archie.
Archie. No, Archie doesn't get a good look at them.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna continue that reverse T that we were doing with Uhtred and Rika in the back. Assuming everyone's okay with this. Archie is now
Yeah.
gonna be flying behind them, keeping an eye out in the rear, and we'll keep walking. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's fine.
That works.
Look, we're trying to get out of the city. So long as we move slightly faster than it can follow us as far as it wants, and then it can eat my asshole as we cross the border.
Alright, keep going.
Right, so you guys are going to.
But I'm still like, hey, fuck off! What the fuck you doing following us? We're just trying to leave. You know, you got territory, we're leaving it. You little skittering shite.
I brought at least one pack of rations with me, right? So I reach in my backpack, and I open up the rations, and I just kind of toss it behind us, like 20 feet. Like, offer it up as like, here, eat that, fuck off.
Alright, so Joe, what happens next?
So as you guys keep going, right, you see Rika throws that ration behind him. You guys travel for about another 100 feet or so. Archie's in the back, and Archie says, you see Archie comes flying up to you,
Okay.
right? Almost like if he's worried about screaming. And he says, I saw them. They all came out and they ate the food that Rikazan left.
What were they?
They were rats, but they were huge. They were bigger than me.
Uh-oh.
I mean, that's not difficult, but
A lot bigger than me.
Oh, I scared we don't exist.
all 2 feet of Archie. They were bigger than me. Yeah, Archie.
He says, there were only 6 of them, but they devoured that food. Doesn't look like they're following us anymore.
Okay. Stay on the lookout. And if they keep following us, then we'll have to set up an ambush.
You say there's a bunch of Thagoraki following us?
Yes, 100%. This is
So I'd just like to go on record as an upstanding member of the Imperial Society that Skaven do not exist, and it is heresy to discuss otherwise.
so I do let them know what's going on, and we keep going.
Okay. So you guys managed it seems that the distraction of the food managed to buy you guys enough time to make it out of the haze. And you find yourselves slowly arriving back at Emberwood Village. Your legs are a little bit tired. The 2-hour walk to and from Emberwood Village definitely makes the trip much, much harder for you guys. Imagine, in most cases, you can travel 8 hours a day before you really start getting tired. And that journey is really eating into you guys. But you managed to make it back all in one piece.
We're sitting at what, like 9 hours-ish out?
You guys managed to make it back fine. You have to push for an extra hour or 2 of travel. But any exhaustion you'll be able to recover while you're here in town.
I assume on the way back. True. I assume on the way back I've been hawking up purple shit every now and then. I'm like, fellas, I think I need to take care of this.
Oh, let's ask that dumb shit cunt twat pointy head where the fuck we can get that stank off you.
I think we actually should go to the church.
Alright, whatever.
Response threatening. I will not be going to any church if I can help it.
Then make sure not to breathe in any zombie bits.
So what we'll do here is we'll call here, and you guys can work out whatever it is that you want to do in regards to Rikazan's current health situation.
That's like priority number 1 for Rick.
And we can, so we'll do that. We can put that kind of stuff as our downtime in between sessions kind of stuff.
Right,
So we have how many weeks do we have between now and that time?
So your guys' next session, real game time, will be the 14th. All right, which in game represents 1 week of time. So every player will have one downtime action that they could take, as per the downtime rules in Xanathars.
Okay. How will crafting work in regards to that? Or like, I know that I don't have any of the crafting recipes available to me yet. Do I have to go find those? Or...
I will be posting up the starting crafting recipes today.
Okay, cool.
That's for the downtime stuff, exactly as you're saying.
Yeah.
Joe, the only thing we want is for when we get to town to go speak to the temple to make sure that Rika doesn't have to go to bed corrupt if we can help it.
Yeah, I don't want to make any checks if I don't have to.
Dun, dun, dun. Which of the two churches would you like to go to?
Both. Whichever one gives us the right answer. We got a week.
Well, which one are we going to first, right?
The large one, I imagine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys go to visit the chapel of Saint Ardina.
While they're doing that, I'm going to go sell off our delirium shards to the hooded lanterns so that it costs money.
Both? And then leaving Archie without a core in the anticipation that we'll take the gold from the sales and get him a new core. I would assume that's the case, but I want to double check with
Joe, are you okay with me just 1-for-1ing, saying, yeah, we trade in and get a gem immediately for it?
I'll allow you to do a straight swap, yeah. Normally, the chips and fragments sell for half of their market value. Fragments have a market value of 100 gold pieces. Chips have a market value of 10 gold pieces each.
Why?
So
leave the selling stuff for after? For downtime? Let's just deal with the temple interaction before we log out.
So you guys go to and you see Flamekeeper Hana. And she's speaking with somebody. She's actually speaking with...
He's nuts.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Sometimes I just need a response for open-ended questions.
She's speaking with this woman right here. And when she sees you approach, she says one or two other words with the woman in the picture, and then comes and steps over and says, you must be some of the new arrivals that I've heard about. What brings you to the chapel?
Seems I've inhaled a bit of that purple stuff, and it's not leaving me be, as it is.
Only recently arrived and already succumbing to the corruption of the city.
Well, when we fought some zombies, right, and it kind of exploded, and a bit of it got in my mouth, and it was, it tasted well, eh? Definitely didn't taste like grape. You think purple would taste like grape, right? But no, not in this situation, eh? And now it seems like I can't get it out of my system.
You see, she looks over to the woman, right? And
why ain't you
kind of...
You want to go to dinner one day?
Oh, stretch.
Sorry.
You see, the Flamekeeper kind of cocks her head to the side as if she heard something, but you guys don't hear any words being said. And she looks to you all and says, I can understand. Your situation is probably rather dire. The flame speaks to me, and perhaps you have a greater purpose. I would be willing to offer my blessing free of charge for this occasion. Should you and your companions be willing to help us in the future?
I think this sounds fair.
So long as there's nothing evil, right? Like, we ain't guns for hire. We ain't gonna go murdering people, but
No, the Flame Keepers would never do something of the sort. But there is much going on in the city, and your help could come in handy.
Isn't this
As long as they don't break me up. Now this woman don't know what my oaths are and all that stuff. I'm like, she just knows, probably that I'm a paladin. So I'm like, so as long as they don't break me oaths to me, they did, eh? I don't see why not.
the Sacred Flames the one that want to burn the city to the ground and just raise everything that's ever happened here?
Pretty much.
Fair enough.
Yeah, which includes Wild because he has a delirium core, which is
why, we just kind of shove you behind us, like, sit back there.
So,
from
Hannah
whose
does take you
perspective?
aside, and
You
she
see
does cast a spell on you, a spell of which the likes you have never seen. And you see the, almost like this metastasized purplish ichor come and almost like rise out of your mouth. Right, almost, and congeal, and then shatter.
That's going to replace the whale in my nightmares, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a tumor.
So you
It's
do
not the
gain,
tumor.
you do gain 1 level of exhaustion, right, throughout the process, but that will be healed before next session, anyways. If you guys could, or actually, I will go ahead and do it. Just note down that you owe a favor to Flamekeeper Hannah.
Wild, when he joins back up with you guys, he's gonna make it very apparent that he really doesn't like that idea.
Well, we
He's not
agree.
better than a dead brother, eh?
But we saved a brother, so, we'll deal with it.
And what if their favor? And what if their favor means destroying me?
We won't do it.
I said as long as they go against my oath.
Destroying
Come on,
you would
brother.
go against our tenants.
Yeah, you're part of my family. I can't.
Clearly, we're not going to do that. But let's talk about Ophelia, right? She was thicker than a snicker, and I'd like to bed the lass.
That's fucking great. I love it.
So
I'm gonna have to keep that one in mind now.
on
It's
that
the first
note,
one I've seen with a skin color similar to my own, and she was looking like she was a burly lass, so I do wish to bed her.
She did look like she was a
with
snack
my
and a half.
dwarven penis.
Oh, Lord.
Penis,
So,
says the dark elf.
on that note, I think it's time for everyone to say goodnight, Grace.
People gotten loopy. I will just
Gracie.
remind you guys before
Night,
we go,
Gracie.
if anybody wants to write a brief 1 or 2 sentence entry in regards to their journal entry or something of that effect, it will give you inspiration for the next session.
Great, if you get like a 40-page novel, bro.
And as far as experience points go, everybody can go ahead and add 200 experience points to their character sheet. You should already have 300 from before, bringing you up to a total of 500 at the moment.
Awesome.
Fair enough.
Level up is at 1,000, right?
Yes.
No, you should be at 500. Level up is at 900.
Cool. All right. Good night, Gracie. See you guys. Monday is July 4th, so there'll be no land of ice and snow. Just as a heads up.
All
Night,
right.
everyone.
Take care, guys. Great game.
That was